The mics are live. Turn the cameras on to the live setting. I see you're taking Avery's chair because whoever gets here first gets Avery's chair. Is that what the deal is?
Avery's going to hit that if he comes in.
I know. Very Home Alone track.
Oh, yeah, that should move. That looks a little dim. Why does that look so dim?
Because the lights got moved.
Is that the couch cam?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, they haven't.
Okay.
They're in the same spot.
Alright.
Don't mess with them.
Dude, you're not allowed to touch the fucking lights
That's not
in
the
here.
light that you moved last week that was fucked up.
It's a different light.
You're not certified to adjust lighting.
Move a light 2 feet.
Only mechanics
Well, I
are
had
allowed
to
touch
actually
these.
change all the settings on the cameras, each individual camera for where the lights were and which direction they were pointing when I first set this up.
Well, you're not the one that looks blue.
That's because of that light being moved last week. We can't move it towards here because it has that glare. That's why we had to move it.
Alright.
I don't like that the two lights are like facing me.
You sound a little sick there, buddy.
Yeah, he does.
Jazz, can we turn it like 10 degrees
I got you, Bruce.
that way,
Yep.
He's already
please? Well, that's
touched
fine.
it.
I'll just sit facing this way.
I don't like that.
Well, dude, those lights are like directly at my eyeballs.
Adjust those lights for him. Otherwise, he's going to cry.
I'm not gonna cry. I'll
peeing
just face
both
this way.
times I had moved him. That camera went out.
Or I could turn and face the wall. That'd be cool.
Alright, is everybody ready to do a show?
Yeah.
Okay, then.
Whatever the activity or sport, you'll find the quality.
This is an explicit podcast containing filthy language and adult themes like dick and shit jokes. If you're easily offended or have a stick up your ass, this probably is not for you. Guidance is suggested for sensitive types, and occasionally some lights may flash, so if you're prone to seizures and all that, you might want to skip this. And lastly, we don't speak for anyone or any entity. We only speak for ourselves, of course. What follows is opinion based on our individual experiences in the industry. So take that. Ah, God damn it, I fucked it up at the end.
Welcome to the podcast formerly known as Out for Delivery. I'll be this evening's host, Afterlodge Jason. Joined this week by a very special guest, Charlene of the wrestling world. Say good morning, Charlene.
Good morning.
A little closer to that mic for me.
Oh, sorry. Good morning.
There we go.
Hello.
As always, we have the lovely Jazz. Say good morning, Jazz.
I'm here.
Okay.
She couldn't even say good morning.
She can't.
It's
It's contrarian.
I learned it from you.
We have City Guy Ryan in the house.
Good morning, everybody.
The only one. Here to represent his species.
Bring a buddy, man. I feel
Bring
bad
a
for
buddy.
you.
I kind of do,
sometimes.
yeah.
I know. I'm on an island quite a bit on this show.
Do you have any friends at work?
Like, not just because of what you do, but because of what you say.
All the
Like, you're
people at my
always by
work are
yourself.
like 30 years older than me, so it's hard to bring in people the same age.
Well, I mean, sometimes I feel bad for them because we go against that craft. And
We do. They're
it's-
horrible people.
There's like 3 of us attacking them and only just Ryan.
Well, I had a teammate.
He quit, buddy.
I know.
I don't know what to tell you. He ain't even... He's now off cleaning toilets and...
Working for a living.
Well, let's slow down.
No, he
Brad...
Yeah,
doing?
he works
that's true. That's true. We don't see any pictures the rest of the week.
1 day a week, right?
We just see it on Sundays.
As always, the bearded wonder himself, the mayor of Milktown, Bruce.
You got
Good
so
morning,
many names.
everyone.
You got so many names.
And thanks for coming out. Thanks for joining us on Twitch. All right, we'll see you next week.
Good show.
Terrific show. Almost no mispronunciations that show.
Yeah, it was
Very
good. Very few edits.
So I did a thing this week.
Yeah,
I went and saw Tool in concert.
I couldn't tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cause
We
like
spent as much
I
we spent as
I
much
saw
on
their
Tool
name
stuff.
before I saw your face, and then I turned to Jazz. before I saw her face, and I was like, oh, all right.
We spent as much on
Must have had a
Tool
good
stuff
time.
as what we did on Tool tickets.
So
Yes.
how was it? Was it like absolutely fucking
Dude.
incredible?
Yes.
Oh, it was so amazing.
It was.
Yeah.
Like, I thought they were playing off tape till his voice cracked a little bit. I was like, oh no. I was very upset. Like, after, like, during the first song, I was like, no, this is too good. Like, this isn't live. They're playing off a tape.
This is
This is
pre-recorded
this is-
bullshit.
this is stupid.
Maybe they just recorded a couple of errors just so you would think.
I thought that, but knowing him, like, he would throw a fit about it. So,
Where was the concert?
Cincinnati at U.S. Bank Arena,
Thank
which is
you.
now Heritage Bank Arena.
Surprised he didn't
Yeah.
start this song over when his voice cracked.
No, he wanted
We
to go.
have to do it perfect.
No, he wanted to go. He had a time limit, and he was ready to go when that time was up. Unlike other bands that, like, you know, make you think you got to cheer for him to come back out to do another song.
So no encore, no extra.
No, there was,
Oh, okay.
but as soon as they walked off stage from their, you know, original, like, the actual show, there was a clock that popped up on the screen and told you exactly what drummer started.
You got 15 minutes.
It makes sense to me that a band that's so intense about their time signatures would be
Yes.
incredibly efficient on when they come
Yes.
on, when the break is. Yeah.
Such a fantastic show, though. It was amazing. And so we're sitting there before the show starts, and we've spent $200 some on Tool merchandise.
Worth
Well,
it.
of course.
Well, I mean, I had to get the new Alex Gray shirt. Come on.
Yeah.
Like, that has to happen.
So is Calvin running around in a Tool shirt?
no,
I got him a beanie.
Yeah.
Then they had shirts that were just for that show. So I had to get one of those. Like, you can't pass that up.
Not for the tour, but that.
For that
That
show,
show.
it had the date and the
Oh.
location on it and everything.
Yeah.
You got to get that.
Didn't have a choice. I mean, the hoodie, like, I wear hoodies all the time. Of course, I had to get a hoodie.
I would think maybe wait until they stop selling them. Do they have
Before
like
I
a
wear 'em?
half off the
No.
next day?
No. They were running
'Cause-
out of
Yeah.
stuff.
There won't be anything
Yeah.
left.
One of the shirts I wanted were sold out of my size by the time we got them. And we got them during the opening act, which was garbage. No offense to those guys, but
you
they
also
were
got
garbage.
one other thing.
Who wasn't?
Oh, yeah, I got a flag. Haven't hung it up in here yet, but I did get a Tool flag.
Yeah.
Killing Joke.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
I hadn't heard of them either.
We
I guess they
listened
killed the
to-
audience too.
Pretty much.
They kind of did, yeah.
When Tool came on after Killing Joke went off, we were sitting there and I just watched the flood of the hallway like fill into the stadium.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
everybody
like
listened to the
everybody
first song, they were like, yeah, we can go to the bathroom.
Yeah. Everybody just left.
Where are you putting that flag?
I don't know yet. It's time for some flags to cycle, man. A lot of these been hanging since we got here.
I don't think your flag counts as a cycling for one of these.
May not.
His flag's this big.
It's kind of small.
So
Oh, there's plenty of room then.
I don't think it needs to cycle and change out one of those.
And it was $30.
Yeah, that's about right.
Also, one thing I found like really interesting was the bassist. Instead of changing bassist whenever they change tunings, like most bands will do, he would sit down on the floor and tune his bass to the new song before they started the new song.
I was very confused. I didn't know why he kept crouching down on the ground. I
That's
had to
awesome.
ask.
Anyway, yeah, and so while we're sitting there waiting for the first band to start, like, a dude comes around the corner by our section, and I was like, holy shit, that
What?
dude looked dead. It was, like, I almost got up and went to him, like, Russ, why the fuck didn't you tell me we were coming? We could have rode together.
Did you smell the beef broth before
What?
you got
No.
there?
No, but it looked like Russ
That's
in a
how
hoodie.
he knew it wasn't him.
It was not Russ.
Okay.
To be clear, like, I was like, nope, not Russ.
That's
But it was
funny.
really close.
You get a
And,
picture? It's not. It takes
no.
2 seconds to click.
No, they were very
It was,
uptight about phones.
Yes.
Oh.
They, like, would start asking, we're going to ask you to leave if they saw your phone. And they were watching.
There was people with flashlights who would give you a warning that would just like flash right on your phone if you put it up,
Yeah.
so that you couldn't like take pictures or see. And they had announcements like store announcement like almost every like
Oh,
10
wow.
minutes,
Wow.
telling you to put up your phones, that you can't do this here right now.
Yeah, and then, like, so the lead singer, Maynard, he only addressed the crowd, like, twice. And one of them was to say the state he was currently in. He
Yep.
said, Ohio.
And then started his next song.
Literally, I mean, he emphasized high in Ohio, but that is all he said. And then before the last song, he's like, all right, you can play with your phones or whatever.
Yeah, get your phones and cameras out, play with them. And then he started his song.
That sounds exactly like how Marilyn Manson was. It's like the entire thing was just business from the beginning of the show
Yes.
to the end.
And, like, you know how, like, Tool songs, like, some of them are, like, 12, 13 minutes. And sometimes there's, like, 5 minutes where there's no vocals. If one of those periods happened, he was gone. He left. He was off the stage.
Was he like in the audience, mate?
No. The drink. I'll be back
when
in
you
5
need me.
minutes. He did not
He would
care.
disappear.
But I mean, it was, I guess with that level of talent, it doesn't really fucking matter. You can do whatever you want to do.
I mean, to be fair, there was times he just went and sat on the corner of one of the higher-rise parts of the stage and just was sitting there kicking his feet, listening to everybody.
Yep.
Just sitting there.
I
and
mean,
then-
his spotlight was off, so you couldn't see him that good. But he was just chilling there. Whatever.
How long was
I
the
don't
show?
I don't know. I mean, time was distorted because
It wasn't, but
Because you can't pull your phone out, you know?
yeah, I couldn't look at my
Couldn't look at your phone. There was a bunch of like Alex Gray type stuff going on everywhere.
yeah
was a
no.
whole, like,
there was visual
movie.
overload. Yeah.
With it.
what, like
Uh,
a Pink Floyd type of show where shit's
Yeah,
just floating
it's
around?
that level. Yeah.
Hmm.
Like their lighting setup, and they had lasers, they had like different style lightings, then they had a projection, then they had a sheer curtain through part of the show that would
Yeah.
make like a dual projection on the curtain than on the screen behind them. It was fucking
Sounds like a
crazy.
good show, yeah.
So then we left, and we took an Uber over there from the hotel, and the Uber there was $15.
How close were you to the hotel?
We were back on the Kentucky side of the river, Florence, I think, by the airport.
Yeah.
Like we were.
So pretty far.
I mean, it took us like 15
20
minutes
minutes?
to get there.
Okay.
I mean, that $15, that's not bad.
Yeah, exactly. $15 to get there, especially when parking was going to be $40
Yeah.
at that garage
Yeah.
right next to the place. Yeah, so that's like not even that great of a show. Well, yeah, there you go.
Like this is the type of video before the curtain came out.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
after they took the curtain away that had a different show going before the show behind it.
Yeah, it's not like I feel like we could see better than this.
Well,
Well,
hold
maybe we
on, she'll
can.
zoom in.
Well,
I
it
mean,
was dark and I'm using a phone, so
True. Anyway, so when we come out, like I grab the Uber thing and
How
I
many
see.
phones are on? That's crazy.
Well, that's the only
Oh,
time you
yeah.
were allowed to use them.
that was right
Oh,
after
oh, that was
he
that
said,
part.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, that's when he said, pull out your phones or
Really
whatever.
wanna
so-
Everybody's
see-
like, thank God.
There's how many phones, because I took a picture literally just to see all the phone lights. That's what that picture's for. That's why you can't really see the stage. So I wanted to see all the phone lights.
So Uber was gonna be like $50 going back, like right after the concert ended. And it said it's busy right now,
Yeah.
so you're gonna pay more. And so I said, well, you know what? There's a walking bridge over here to go back over to the Kentucky side of the river. So we'll go walk over that bridge, and then we'll catch one over there, and it'll be cheaper.
What time was that?
This was probably
Midnight?
Yeah, around in there. No, it was 11:30 because we got to that one bar, and she said we close in 20 minutes.
Gotcha.
So we get over to the Kentucky side. We walk across this bridge.
What kind of bar closes at midnight?
I know.
That's kind
The
of what I was
fuck is
thinking,
that?
too.
On a what? Friday?
This one.
Tuesday.
How about
Oh.
the bars that don't open until midnight?
I don't know, dude. It was like a nice bar.
This was downtown?
This was across the river in Kentucky.
Oh.
It was in that
So
nightlife
much
district.
smaller.
It's in that nightlife district of Newport. Like that's pretty. That's
Okay.
pretty.
High traffic area.
Yeah, it's.
That's weird.
But not that night. But so we're walking across this bridge, and my phone keeps fucking up. It won't tell me how to get because I was gonna go to Newport on the levee where that aquarium is.
Yeah.
Because I figured like there's bars and shit over there, and we'll
It's
just
a
hang
cool
out over
aquarium.
there. So we're walking across this walking bridge that goes over the fucking Ohio River, which is a big goddamn river. And I look down.
Yeah.
It is. It's
Like,
not a little stream.
It's a bridge that has like a little walk path on the side that's cut off from the cars, so it's not just a walking bridge
Yeah.
that we
Oh,
ended up on.
okay.
Yeah.
So like, but I was looking down, and there's these spots like every 5 feet in the bridge where there's a hole for no reason, like 3 foot by 4 foot, that I can see the fucking river in.
That's scary.
And I'm like, okay, I don't fucking like this anymore.
Like where you're walking?
Yeah,
Jason's playing
Yeah.
Frogger up there.
like off to the side, but yeah.
Huh.
And I'm like, so this isn't very cool.
Because you can't swim.
No, I mean, it doesn't really matter. You were high enough that if you hit the water, you're probably dead
Yeah,
anyway.
true. Good point.
And it was cold as shit, so, I don't think you were making it back to the bank once you got to the middle.
There's plenty of bodies you could probably hang on to.
Anyway, so we're walking across this bridge, and we get to the other side of the bridge, and I look at my phone to see how to get to because I've got it on the walking directions, and it's telling me to go back across this fucking bridge that I and go like 5 blocks that way and go across a different bridge, and I'm like, no, fuck this. I'm not doing that.
Did you have it set to
No,
walking?
I had it set
yes,
to walking.
we
Okay.
had it set to walking.
So I'm sitting there at the end of the bridge looking at my phone like, what the fuck are we going to do? Like, I'm just going to pay the $50 and go home now. Whatever. Fuck it.
Sir, don't do it! Don't do it!
So coming across the bridge, like right behind us, is fucking fake Russ and his buddies.
Oh,
That's
shit.
where it was going.
So because the dude looks so much like Russ, I just turn around and I'm like, help me. Like, where the fuck am I going? Can you tell me how the fuck to go
and
where I'm
because
going?
he looked so much like Russ, he knew what he was doing, and he helped Jason.
Did you tell him he looks like...
So, question: Who is Russ?
Russ is the host of Ignorance of the Law on Air. He's a good friend of mine.
Oh, okay.
He is a rugged survivalist mountain man type who looks like he's going to make a terrific mall Santa in about 10 years.
10. I mean, yeah. Yeah,
He's got to grow the beard out a little more.
he does.
That's the bridge, by the way. I did not
Yeah,
take that picture.
that's the
but
bridge.
That's the
Yeah.
bridge. So everywhere you see the wires and
Yeah,
suspensions coming
that's
back
where the
down,
hole would be.
there would be like a 4-inch hole all around the entire thing.
Wait, I thought you said 3 foot by 4 foot.
He
It was
did.
like this.
That's not 3 foot by 4 foot.
I don't know. When you can't swim and you're up in the air.
The hole in
about
itself
4
may
feet
have
right there,
been
buddy.
like,
Yeah.
I think the whole hole probably was like 1.5 feet, but you could
Okay,
only
but you
see
can't
through
fall
4
through that.
inches.
You could fall through a 3 foot by 4 foot hole.
Your foot could fit through.
My leg could have fallen through there. Probably not my whole body, but it's still not making me happy. Okay.
Yeah. No, yeah. It's still unnerving.
So the dude tells me where to go, which we didn't wind up going there anyway because we found that bar in between there and the place. And then like we started talking about the concert, and I was like, it's the first time I've seen him since back in the '90s before they got super famous. And he's like, oh, the dude looks so.
In the background, one of his buddies is looking at some of the bars we're passing, and everyone just misses. He goes, "That's a really cool sign."
He's
Can we
never
steal
hugged
that
me,
sign?
and he hugged this complete stranger.
Right.
Yeah.
I did.
But to be fair, you don't look anything like Russ.
Yeah.
True. That is true.
Yeah, I feel like it was Russ's twin brother that he
Did you tell him that he looked like a friend of yours?
No, I should have.
Did you whisper Russ when you were hugging him?
No.
You know the really the really funny part. I'm not sure Russ would hug him.
I know.
No. It's weird, but
To be
whatever.
fair,
Okay, let's do it.
If Russ asked me to hug him, I'd probably hug him.
I mean,
No, but it was yeah. I was like, oh, it's like Saint Russ.
You
like,
didn't get a picture?
no, she didn't.
second.
I was too busy
opportunity.
listening to the guy who wanted to steal the sign. He wanted to steal the bar sign really badly.
So then we got a Uber back later on, which cost us $30. It had dropped $20 after like a half an hour.
Yeah.
Aren't you already like halfway back by that point?
No.
Oh.
We didn't walk as far as what you think we did.
Okay.
On a map, it looks really small. On your feet, it takes a while to. Yeah, no, we got an Uber back, cost us $30, and that dude drove like crazy. And
Yeah.
he was a dirty hippie, and he kept talking about Fish concerts, and I was like, "Get me the fuck out of this car! Come on, go!" Like, I just went and saw Tool, and you're talking about Fish.
Fish is like the opposite of Tool.
Like Grateful Dead's dead. It's
Right.
now Fish. Yeah, but other than that, it was a fantastic time.
It was.
I stopped at a outlet mall and bought some pants and a shirt. Unrelated. Just
Yeah.
happened to drive by it.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Did you go by Jungle Gyms?
No. What is that?
Should have went to.
I don't know what that
Man,
is.
Jungle Gyms. Oh, it's amazing. It's an international food market store, and it's huge.
I
It's
don't
like
like
going
foreigners.
huh?
I don't like
Well,
foreigners.
fuck you too.
Or foreigners' food.
I like
You were
her.
born here. You count. It's your
No.
mom. It's your mom that I. Oh, you wasn't
no,
born
I
here.
was not born here. So fuck you.
Oh, look what you did.
Wow.
Wait a minute, where were you born?
Born
Boy,
in
this-
Germany.
This
Oh, you
vetting,
were. I knew your mom was German.
Bruce,
Yep.
we got to do something about this vetting process.
So.
We're gonna have to
Leave it up to Jason.
We're gonna have to check the wall a little closer next time, fellas. No, so they sell international food.
Yeah, like everything you can think of. Like they have like, it's weird. Like they have like a butter sec. I mean, it's just like one of those places you got to go and just experience it. And
It looks
walk
interesting.
through
Hold
it.
on. Were you about to say
Yeah.
butter section because you stopped
Yes.
saying that?
Yeah,
If
I
that's what
was-
you were saying.
Butter section. They have like all
I bet
kinds
that
of
means they
different
have a bit-
alcohol from all over the world.
How many different
too.
kinds of butter is there, fellas?
I don't know,
Just,
but I'm betting that means they have a lot of cheese
I don't
selection.
know,
They
but I want
do.
to find
It's a
out.
huge cheese selection.
I like
Where's
cheese.
this at? This may have to be like a road
Ah,
East
trip.
Cincinnati.
I mean, I'll go with you all. I love going there. I go. Obviously, I go and get German food every time I go. So
It says East Cincinnati.
You know, the guy who
There's 2 locations.
the co-host
That's
of
my favorite one. Sorry.
Ignorance of the Law, Kyle,
Yeah.
was
Our resident foodie.
yeah, and he was a German foreign exchange student for like 2 years.
I'm sure he's heard of this place.
I'm sure he probably goes there all the time. It's probably like on his week shopping list. He probably drives up there once a week to fucking because he eats weird shit, black garlic
Yes.
and
There's a special brand of Wiener Schnitzel he can only get from there.
I bet she's heard of the thing that Russ said was his favorite German food that he raved about last week for 5 minutes, which was the deep fried pickle or whatever it was. It was what was that called? Rouladen?
Something like
Rutenton?
that.
Rouladen? It was like a dill pickle
Roulade.
wrapped in stuff.
Yeah, rouladen.
I'll pass on that one.
Yeah, me too.
So
How do you feel about beef broth? Drinking it just straight, like out of a thermos?
I think I'll pass.
No,
Thank you,
it's
thank you.
good.
Thank you.
Because that kind of
Still got
encompasses who Russ is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we're here on a cold day. We've all
Yeah.
got like coffee or something, and
Yeah.
he's there with a large thermos of beef broth.
Hey, I sipped it. It was good.
Takes the lid off of it. The whole area smells like somebody's cooking beef stew.
What's wrong with that?
And he just sips from it throughout the morning.
I mean, to
That
be
would be
fair
Russ.
though, once he figured out it annoyed me, he was carrying it well into the summer.
Well,
it was
yeah.
August and he's sipping beef broth.
Yeah, that's different.
That was to hit some buttons.
Yeah, so Tool was awesome. We spent a bunch of money on stuff. The
was
arena kind
fun.
of sucked where it was at.
Hmm.
Yeah, but it's not good.
It was
Was it the
Citibank.
U.S. Arena.
U.S. Bank,
Oh yeah, U.S. Bank.
which is now Heritage Bank Arena.
Hmm.
I did find the Angry Froggy 101.
That was the thing that was happening outside.
Alright.
I guess that's their big rock station up there. And they were blasting like Rush and Led Zeppelin. And I was like, do they know what concert they're at? Not really the same genre.
They were just going with it. They didn't care.
Yeah. So that happened. And then I had to go back to work.
What is that picture supposed to be? Are those things arms on the side of his face, or is
I
it
think
like the
that's his-
side of his
Like, that's the
face
side
and
of
then the
his
middle
face.
face?
I thought that was his like front legs.
No, those are like his lip type
His
things.
cheeks.
That's his giant nose in the middle.
What? No, that doesn't make any sense. The things on the side
Yeah,
that look
that's
like
his
ears.
cheeks.
See, I see it either way.
his
Like
cheeks.
that could be his mouth in the middle, and then those could be arms
Let's
coming
look
up on the
He's
side.
smiling.
I don't think
know
he's
about
smiling.
I
An
see
angry
it as
smile.
kind of a. I'm a
Sneer.
tough frog.
There's nothing scarier than a tough frog.
Right. As
Terrifying.
Battletoads has taught me.
Mm.
Do they have Battletoads at GameStop right now?
I believe so.
We should probably
GameStop.
call and ask.
They're fucking closing. They closed the one over by my mom's. Shut it down. It's
They
boarded
should
up
be
and everything.
closing.
They're opening one in the mall.
Shit
That's a
store.
bad investment.
How?
There's
How
already
are
been
new
one there.
GameStop's being opened.
There's already
Who is
there was
taking games back and trading them in?
there was a GameStop in that mall in the exact same location. It's been closed for 2 years, and now they're opening it back up.
Unless they're rebranding as something else.
No, it's GameStop. They've got like interview times set up to where you can walk in for
They've
an interview.
announced that they're closing like 400 stores across the nation.
I might
should.
go in and interview and then just ask the interviewing me these questions that I want answered.
Yeah.
How
do
is
you
the
have
store
this
reopening?
job? Like, how is this an opening?
How do you still have games to sell? Like people aren't. Are they? Of course, the last time I went in one of those, it was mostly like board games.
Well,
and
I used to be the
movies
biggest
and
advocate of it because I did all that shit, and now I haven't
video games.
bought in a year.
No, I'm not going to talk bad about GameStop right now because we got this warehouse over here where they do a bunch of their shipping from,
Yeah.
and they donated a shit ton of stuff to my kids' fall festival to auction off.
I'm not
Like
saying
nice
shit
stuff.
talking them. I'm saying how do they, with their business model being bad now,
That's why
There
they
you
bought
go.
Think Geek.
It is not arms or a leg. It's his cheeks.
that doesn't look
Ugh,
like anything like the other
that's-
one. That looks like a DeviantArt version.
That looks
Yeah.
like a
That's not the same though, because the other one had a black line across the middle
Yeah.
where his top part met
but
the
they're
bottom
still
part.
redoing
that's
it
a
for
rare
that
Pete
thing.
meme, is what that is. Pepe meme.
The fucking Easter.
Just said beep. Holy shit.
All right, let's move
You
on.
gonna be okay?
Yeah, I said Peep instead of Pepe. 4chan does not allow this type of behavior. All right, so Charlene is a very special guest for one special reason.
Well, probably more than one.
Oh, yeah, more than one.
Asshole.
But there's one that stands out above all other. She is involved in regional professional wrestling.
Just go ahead and ask her if she deals with what you want to know.
Oh shit.
Fine. Have you ever refereed a midget wrestling match? And
Yeah.
You have.
Duh.
It's the
Kinda
only
comes
reason-
with-
Stupid
it's the
fucking
only
question,
reason you're on this
Jason.
show right now.
Kind of comes with the territory.
Like, it's
Yeah.
just automatic.
yeah. Like,
Do they start you off on the midget circuit before you can move to regular
yes, that's
people's
how
circuit?
it works. Like, you know, they go, hey, we got these midgets, and you gotta travel with these midgets, and you gotta be their
You
handler. No, I don't really. I'm just coming up with the story. Just let me
Okay.
go
It's
on
like
with
bike racing. You got to do the 50 cc's before you can move up to the 100 cc's.
it. Exactly.
Oh, so like
So
Mario
it goes
Kart.
midgets,
Yeah, that's a good
short
Mario Kart
people,
joke.
normal wrestlers.
Yes.
Got it. So, have you ever actually wrestled yourself? Because you're a referee, correct?
Yeah, but I trained when I was like a teenager. I had like one match. It was horrible, and I made sure to delete video proof of it. So
Aw.
Are you sure we cannot find?
Was it ever on the internet?
it was on the internet.
Because you're
Mm.
young,
It's somewhere.
which means teenager wasn't that long ago.
It's 10 years ago. 10 years ago.
I feel like we could find this.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope
What
so.
what was your wrestling name?
I don't even remember what I used.
Huh.
Well, she only had one match. She might not have had one at that time. She just used her name.
Yeah, it was one of those like spur of the moment type things. They were
Yeah.
like, oh yeah.
I feel like if I were an aspiring wrestler, I would have my name like thought out and planned
Yeah, but if
I
you,
feel like Bruce
way
already
before
has
I'm
a
even
secret
ready
name
to be wrestling.
thought out and planned.
how much wrestling have you watched over the years, Bruce?
I mean, it's been a while. I used to watch WWF in the 90s. Or
Well,
do
they
you
used to,
mean
even back
real
then, they
wrestling?
used to bring out, with the new wrestlers, they would just come out with their name. A lot of the time, they didn't even have a persona made yet. So,
Dave.
Yeah.
Welcome to the ring, Dave.
not far off. So they had to almost not earn, because Vince would just give them some bullshit
Yeah.
moniker or something.
Vince McNeil,
Yeah.
Yeah, my
McMahon.
friend like
lead singer of Motley Crue.
last time she went up to WWE and she got to wrestle on WWE. They
If
just
you're not
gave
into
her.
the joke, why would we?
You
Here we
know
go.
who Art Anderson is?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
One of the
like
Four Horsemen.
Yeah, she had to be like they used his shoot last name for her ring name.
Oh, okay.
And then I don't remember what they used as her first name, but yeah, it was. They're like, oh, we'll just call you my shoot last name and then give you this random first name. There you go.
What is a shoot?
I was getting ready. I mean, I know, but go ahead
Shoot
and
name. It's your government name, man.
pretty much.
Oh, your
Yeah.
slave name. Got
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
I've never
Got it.
heard that before.
Shoot. I've heard this is a shoot or a work,
Yes.
but I know one means one thing and one means something else.
Shoot is obviously real, and then work is just storyline.
So,
So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay. So how often is it shoot?
Um.
Like never, right?
No, occasionally. I've seen plenty of people get their ass kicked.
Like people are like mad at one another and they intentionally try to
Yeah.
hurt one another.
Yeah, like I mean, somebody tries to fuck your girlfriend or something, or.
Does that happen often within the wrestling
mean,
world?
It's real life, so yeah. So sometimes.
Hmm.
Or you're just pissed at somebody because you think they're disrespectful or whatever the case is, so you teach them a lesson.
So you don't pull your punches at that point. You're really like punching the guy.
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes if that happens, I just kind of stand back and I let it unfold. I'm like, oh, I'm not getting in between you all.
Right.
You all handle your business. And
How many times are the outcomes like settled before the like where they say like you've got to lose, you've got to win?
Well, I think that's what she means by
It's always that
shooter real or shooter.
shooter work. Please
shooter
use
work.
the
I'm
terminology
sorry.
we've just learned.
I just learned it 10 seconds ago. I'm sorry.
So is that always? Is just do they know who's gonna win when they walk in the ring? Is this like secret magician code? You can't
She
tell
can't,
me.
She can't. She
You
can't
can't
say.
reveal that.
hmm.
She's not.
Well,
she,
I'm
did, she
not-
didn't wear the black mask. You know the
Yeah.
magician.
Ah.
Instead of giving me like a
Oh.
lucha
He's got a
mask.
Yeah, we should have.
Somebody deep in
No,
her
my
voice.
Actually, you could put a
Use the
mullet
mixer.
on, and you would
Give me the
already
mullet,
look like
and then I
most
can-
wrestlers I know.
Hacksaw Jim Duncan.
Here's a better question: at what level, though? Like, I know everything is scripted with WWE because they have the writers and Vince
Yeah.
has. Is it on that level with the lower level wrestling, or because you have to have some form of knowing what's going to happen, otherwise the match isn't really going to go smoothly.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Okay, it just depends on like what kind of shows you're at because I've gone to some pretty like rinky-dink 10 people in the audience shows, and I've been to shows where there's like 1,000 people in the audience. So it really depends. Like my main local company that I work for, my home company, like it's we're told, hey, this is a story we want to tell. This is what we're gonna do. Blah blah blah. Okay. I go to other shows, it's the fucking inmates are running the asylum. Like, I can just go out there and be like, you do this. Like, sometimes I'll go, this isn't working, do this instead.
Hmm.
Especially if, I mean, the guys don't know what the fuck they're doing.
So
like,
you're-
I gotta control the match at that
So
point.
sometimes you're like kind of in the role of like a director
Yeah.
as the referee.
Oh, yeah, because a lot of times they want to continue to go. Like, they want to go 20 minutes. It's like, no, you're fucking out of shape, and the audience doesn't give a fuck. Just kill yourself
Right.
now, please. Yeah.
So does that ever like overspill and kind of get out of your control just because of whatever they've got going on?
How many
Oh,
times
yeah,
have you been
sometimes.
knocked down?
Make
More-
sure- Gotten.
I don't have to take no damn chair shot. No, I mean, I've broken my toe in a wrestling match. That's the worst thing that's happened. and
I've
that's
broken my
kinda-
toe.
suck.
Come on.
I mean, I did that getting up to go piss one night.
I mean, there was a time I took a choke slam, and the guy didn't think I guess he thought I wasn't gonna jump well enough for him, and he like got me up so high that like somehow, I don't know how this happened, but my knee hit my forehead as I was coming
Shit.
down.
That's impressive.
God.
Yeah.
So basically, he thought he was gonna have to lift you
Man,
up, and then you
yes.
jumped more than he thought you would, and you kind of went up too
Yeah.
hard.
Didn't feel too good. So
Sounds like
kind
So
of
they
cried
choke
like a little
slam,
bitch.
so-
Did you disqualify him or kick him
She
in the
was
nuts?
unconscious.
or-
She couldn't.
Oh,
Come on, don't you watch any wrestling?
you're right. For all, and then the
Yeah.
referee would stand up dazed and then
Yeah.
start disqualifying people.
I'm just fall back over.
You don't
right?
disqualify him. You do the 14-second slow count, and then you get the win.
That's my favorite. It's like, oh, I'm dead now after
Yeah.
the 3. Yeah.
So here's my question: how long are you gonna have to do our job before you start incorporating aspects of that into your persona? In
Oh, that
in
would
your
be
other
awesome.
thing, right? Yeah, think about that.
Come out with a sack around her waist.
I'm about to deliver an. I mean, obviously,
God.
obviously, it wouldn't be, you know,
I mean,
say that
that delivered
Yeah.
better than I thought it would.
I got a feeling like when somebody gets knocked out, she could just put a notice left sticker on their chest.
Yeah. Great.
Oh.
and then do like a cross
Oh, that's a
I
good
think
one.
you've
Like
found your writers.
I think
That's
you're
a
right.
good one.
You might want to check your cord because it.
Say something.
Yeah.
Yeah, you fucked up your mic, son.
Oh no.
He's getting into the wrestling mode, man. He's flailing.
Unplug and replug.
I'm not really sure you should be wrestling with mics though. They don't have much fight back to them.
Is there an off?
No.
There usually is. I have an off on mine. Try
Give
it
us
now.
a try.
Yeah. Give us a minute. Yours has a mic.
Oh, this thing's wiggly.
Please stand by.
How about now? Okay, there we go.
There we go.
Yeah.
We'll just
Yeah.
not,
Bruce is
not
back.
touch it until break.
I mean, you fucking right
I mean,
across
you,
it.
you got
Jumping off the top bunk.
Fuck yeah, I did that with my my brother. Jumped off the tumbuck, went through the ceiling fan
Wall?
light.
Oh,
Mhm.
Yeah, and it's
Oh,
like glass
God.
fell down on us.
Yep.
I got in so much trouble, but that was the coolest moment.
At
of my
least,
life.
at least and hang from the ceiling fan, 'cause
No,
that would have
didn't.
gone worse.
I didn't.
And just so everybody knows, like, she's the real deal. She's been on, like, pay-per-views. Like, people have seen
Oh, cool.
her performances that they paid
not just
money to see.
X-rated ones.
I mean, she looks like the
Okay.
real.
Well,
Wait,
wait.
hold-
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, you
I
gotta
mean,
make
she's
money
from Germany,
somehow.
so
People got weird fetishes about that.
I have a
man.
feeling there's mud involved.
It's not mud in Germany. German porn is the scariest of all porn. Very angry.
Oh, man.
Oh, aren't
So-
you glad you came for this questions?
Yeah, this is fun. I didn't expect this on a Sunday morning, so.
So you do this once a
Welcome
week.
to the
Like
show.
this is like a second career for you almost.
Yeah, I mean, before, started slaving away at the
yeah,
at the shoot, yeah. I would,
Ooh, at the shoot.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
That's
yeah,
nice.
there we
I'm
go.
gonna
pretty
start
good.
using that.
The wrestling
You
terminology.
can't use
breaks
it.
This
down.
is our.
Alright.
Says the man in the
Uh,
tool shirt.
I don't see what that has to do with anything.
You can't like Tool and wrestling?
So can you get me some steroids so I can start bulking up for the wrestling lifestyle?
I
That,
mean, I could probably figure it out. I mean, I've never dabbled in anything like that
Why does he
other than,
always ask
Will you ask
She
your?
probably doesn't
some
take too much
greenery.
testosterone.
Yeah, true. So when you talk to the steroid guy for me,
Okay.
forget about the steroids and just ask him if he has any coke. Just some extra coke.
Oh, I can
that I would
definitely
like to-
find you Coke. Like, come on now.
Why does he? Oh,
I know, right?
Because you want the drugs?
Because I like drugs. It's pretty obvious.
okay.
I'm a fan of drugs. All drugs, any kind of drugs.
Like I
So
say, you really don't have that many drugs for somebody who asks every person he comes
That's
across
true.
if they
That's
have any
true.
drugs.
Do you know how hard it is to?
Not Russ for drugs.
Do you? Oh, I should have.
He was
He probably
drunk.
would've
He
had some.
probably
He
would
was
have been
drunk,
like,
yeah, he
hey,
was-
Russ
he
has
did.
drugs?
you know,
I said not
No,
Russ.
not Russ. Russ.
the Embassy Suites with him
He did.
and his
yeah.
friends.
How do you not?
No.
How do you not follow that string?
Yeah.
Worried about where it would go. I didn't want to wind up in a Mike Tyson situation. Like,
I was afraid it
Yeah.
would be awkward. Russ is the one guy Jason would go gay for, and fake Russ is borderline already.
that's not true. But
I
I'm
mean, it
very
was
fond
a
of
straight that he just went. There was already physical contact and everything.
So, yeah, anyway. My point with the reason I have to ask everybody is, do you know how hard it is to find a dealer as a 40-year-old man?
Oh, they already think you're a narc, don't they?
Automatically.
I mean, most people I would say so, but like
Yeah.
you look at Jason, really?
I mean, he looks like he's been undercover for like
Yeah.
a year. He grew out
He
the
could be an
beard,
undercover guy.
He
long
looks like he's
hair.
been undercover for 30 years.
Yeah.
I thought that's why he sent me everywhere.
Hi.
Look who it is.
You keep your sick ass away from me.
Prime Day himself. Your chair's over against the door.
Drinking aloe.
What the fuck are you drinking that? What are you drinking?
Seen this?
I know. What is going on? What
I
is...
don't.
It's really good. You guys should.
Aloe
You
pulp.
should say that into the microphone.
It's aloe pulp floating in there. It's really good.
Aloe's what you rub on your skin. Not
Yeah.
ingest.
Did you sunburn your stomach?
It feels like it.
So
Bruce,
Avery
take a
has
drink.
joined us.
I'll
for
give
those of
you
that can hear.
$10.
Avery, this is Charlene. She's a
Nice.
sub in my
Hi.
office.
Nice to meet you.
Charlene, this is Avery, my oldest son. As if you couldn't tell by looks alone.
Oh yeah,
It's
definitely.
a little thicker up here. I know it's a little confusing.
And my hair's a lot prettier, even though there's less of it.
That's debatable.
Don't give me
I
that.
can't
look,
watch
Dick.
this.
So something I'm gonna bring up right now.
Yeah, go for it.
Please.
At the apartments that are on your route.
My apartments.
Yes.
Yeah, on
unfortunately.
this show we call them Cunty Place Apartments.
Cunty. Oh, it's a fucking great name. I love
I
it.
know, right?
Cunty name. Cunty name.
Yeah.
I made the mistake of. You remember that Helen lady?
Yeah,
Just
the
say
one
her.
that says she knows you, and she come and told me all the way she knows you and how much she loves your wrestling.
Yes,
all
okay.
that,
Ooh,
yeah.
you got a
So-
super fan
She
now.
is a super fan. She came and talked to me about her. I was like, I can get her autograph
Wow.
for you.
Oh yeah, was she like super excited?
Did you ask her if she had drugs for the autograph?
Hey, they probably do. Seriously.
I just asked her for 20. I don't want any drugs
They-
out of Cunty Place Apartments. There's a lot of
I've seen what those drugs do to those people.
That's the last motherfuckers.
Oh,
They found that
man.
body there last year behind one of the buildings that had been frozen out there for like 3 months.
What?
Yeah, that's a real story. There was the shootout.
Wow.
There was a shootout right by the
Yeah, I think
mailboxes
you
this
told me that.
summer. Yeah.
They do burnouts in their apartments.
No, it's a different set.
Oh.
That was Heartbreak Hotel.
I thought that was Brian's.
Brian's.
What
That
is
was Brian's. Yeah.
Well, the
I'm sorry.
lady. I don't remember the cat lady. We'll just say the cat lady.
Yeah. She's
Every
very
time I
annoying.
see her, yes, no. Every time I see
You
her,
have to be
she's
nice to her
like,
because she has lung cancer.
Oh, okay. Sympathy then. since
Like,
she
you
has
kinda-
cancer.
Like, I have to be nice to her because she has lung cancer.
Yeah, but she gave it to herself. It's not like she.
She does ask me for cigarettes all
That's
the
what
time.
I'm saying.
And every time like somebody's around her, she's like, "Can I get a cigarette off you?"
Yeah.
Like, what?
No.
Yeah.
But no, so
No,
now
you
she's
can't.
now she keeps like, "Oh, you're my favorite ref," and now every time I'm like, "Fuck, why did I say that?" I was thinking, oh, maybe I can sell some tickets off of her and make some
Yeah.
commission.
But nobody at Cunty Place has money.
Yeah, exactly.
Give that up. She
and
wants
I was
free
like, oh,
tickets.
you can. Yeah, exactly. She was like, "Oh, I don't drive." I'm like, "Well, you can take the Targ."
Yeah.
Well, you're really trying to get.
Hey,
Bullshit.
No.
That-
you
that's
don't
a
say
bad
that to
idea.
anybody at Cunty Place.
So.
That's when they make
didn't wanna
12
sell
stops on the way.
tickets that bad.
You know, you try to stay
She's
as
driving me wild.
uninvolved in their lives as possible.
How long have you been doing our job?
Like 6 months.
I was just say you offer up almost no information.
Yeah.
about personal life.
Don't. Oh my god.
You do not
Yeah.
feed these people.
And it's
there
always
are-
those apartments.
No,
Every
not-
time
not
I go
even
to the
apartments,
No,
just-
no, no, no. I'm saying that's the only place people know who I am and figure out who I am is any of the apartments that I service.
Mm.
They go, "Oh, aren't you that referee on wrestling on channel blah blah blah?" And I'm like,
It's a lot harder to hide from them when you have to be in the same place for 30 minutes.
You can see him coming in the truck and just gun it and come back later. Those old guys who grab a hold of your mirror and
Oh,
hang
fuck.
on. You see those guys coming, you just gun it. Like,
I'll-
see that?
fella, man, he's too much sometimes.
The guy that knows that is. You work hard.
Money there, man, don't you? At the something
that guy,
place.
that guy, that guy has a 20-year-old wife. Explain that to me.
What?
20 years old, and they have a daughter that's about 7 years old.
Must be
Money.
hung like a champ.
He is on welfare, sir.
Doesn't
Yeah.
change my statement.
And obviously he's on welfare. He's probably getting a big check because he looks like he's inbred. So
He looks like he's getting a big check.
just by the looks of it, yeah.
If you judge how much welfare you're gonna get by how fucked up you look, this dude is fucking Bill Gates of welfare.
Yeah. He's man.
Neither one of his eyes point in the same direction. I think they're both lazy. I'm not even kidding. Like, there's
His
no
eyes
way
get
he
welfare
can.
checks.
There's no way he can point them at the same thing. They're like they
It's like a
move.
chameleon.
Dude, it's fucking weird. You
Like
can't
an
look at it,
accidental chameleon.
Yeah.
and you only understand about every third word he says, and it's usually and or the,
No.
and you just kind of go, yep,
Just be careful. You might be agreeing to something you don't want to.
On the Skeeter scale, where does he rank?
Oh, I'd much rather deal with Skeeter.
Yeah.
Yeah, by far. Skeeter's at least entertaining. This guy's like, what the dude? Go away. He's in the last fucking box, and he will show
Oh.
up at your first fucking box.
Those are rough.
Advo Day? Jesus Christ, you're there for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
He stands right in front of your next box too. It's like, I have
Can you
to
move
be
the
to
fuck
there.
out the way?
Just moving.
Have you
Yell at
tried
him.
ignoring him?
Doesn't work. He won't make you pay attention to him. He will.
You roll a
move.
quarter down the street.
No, I don't think you chase a quarter again. Welfare king, man. He's got a 20-year-old wife. Like, why aren't you at home with your 20-year-old wife? Like, what's going on there?
Yeah.
Is this some sort of like?
Well, this is where the wife
You know
kicks him
what was
out.
The best part. Were you there with me when I had to go take him a letter to his door, and he
No.
opened. I haven't told you this. Okay, so this is the first time I'm ever having to go knock on someone's door to
Oh.
give them a letter.
Nice.
Okay, and so I knock on it in the apartments, obviously. And so I knock on the door, and he opens up, and I'm like, "Hey, man, blah blah blah. I need you to sign this." He's like, "Sure, I'll sign it." And then as he gets done, he goes, "Hey, look at this." And he opens his door up more, and there's glass, like shattered glass everywhere. And there's like nephew, I guess, got pissed off at him in the middle of the night, came in, just like put the boot to his TV and just like left. I'm like, wow,
Oh my God.
you don't need a
Sounds
fucking
legit.
reality show. Like, this would be great.
And then also he didn't
entertainment.
clean it up. He just went to bed.
Dude, like it was
left
just,
the glass
yeah,
there.
just.
Everybody.
And then at the door. Look,
Right.
look what's in my
Yeah.
apartment right now.
It's like, what do you want to do? Like, make yourself
That's
look
probably
tough
the
and just
only-
walk barefooted on it
That's
too?
probably the only human interaction he had that day, so he had to show somebody.
Oh yeah, true.
So, like, here's another indication of these apartments. 2 weeks ago, I found a phone in the parking lot. Like, I had ran an express, came back, and there's a phone laying right beside my truck.
Yeah.
Nobody around. I pick up the phone. It's cold, so it's been out there probably all night long.
That's probably police evidence. You just put your DNA
More than likely.
fingers on.
Yeah.
More than likely.
Like,
So
I'm knocking on the door. I know why.
I decide to call the person whose phone it is, tell them I'm going to put their phone. I'm going to just call some, like, whoever they most call on their call list and tell them I'm going to put the phone in the office because
Was
it
it
is
not
not
locked?
locked. It's
Okay.
not locked.
Is there any background?
I'm getting to it. Stop ruining my fucking
What about
story.
any titty
Sorry.
That was a
pictures?
good question.
I didn't go through the pictures
Oh.
because I immediately dropped this phone and decided I'm not calling anybody because I unlocked the phone
Oh,
and all you see is a dude with like his bare legs wearing tighty fucking whitey like 1970s Fruit of the Loom underwear jerking himself off
Oh wow. Okay.
with like a embarrassingly small dick. Like, I could see if you had a huge dick where you're like, that's so good, I'm gonna make up my background. Like, look at this. This is me earlier in my fucking 1970s tidy whitey. Like, it was an unimpressive picture all the way around, and he had made it his background.
I feel like he made it his background and then left the phone in places. He's hiding all night waiting for somebody to come pick up that phone to see it. You're on camera
Like-
somewhere on YouTube now, holding this phone, unlocking it, and dropping it.
I didn't drop it. I took it to the office, and then I said, "You may not want to unlock that phone. You may not want to look at
spoiled
the."
all of
I could
his
only-
future
I could only
pranks.
imagine Dory and
If it's still there, we're gonna
Leslie
need a
trying to
Oh,
photo
yeah.
get
of
into
this.
I was gonna say maybe it was a woman's
Don't
phone and
send
that's her
it to me.
man.
that. Or
That's sad. If that's the case, dude. Look,
He doesn't have two lazy eyes,
So-
does he?
I gotta tell you, I don't have like a whole lot to brag about. Like I'm solidly on the average side, but this dude apparently has never seen a pornography, or he would be like, it was like smaller than the fist.
How long did you study this picture to know these things, Jay?
It was like when you
It's
see
a
something
confidence
horrific.
to him, man. Just let him
Walked into like somebody's beheaded body, like every
Oh.
part of that scene would be in your memory forever. And it wasn't like he was excited. It was just like normal, and it looked kind of like a defeathered dead chicken head. It was, yeah, it was uncircumcised,
It's like one of those videos of the monkeys jerking off you see on the internet.
and the lighting was not. It was just,
Did you like pop awake in your truck? I'm like, what the fuck kind of dream was that?
I was very like, how much, how fucked up's today? My first 3
Don't
hours.
give him any more drugs. He doesn't need them.
So since Jazz brought this up earlier, maybe
Uh-oh.
he's like just hiding out in bushes. Since he's just putting his like dick pic as his wallpaper, maybe he's like, man, I wonder if anybody would be interested. So let me just bait these.
Oh,
peeps
that?
and see if
There you
they
go.
But he,
Yeah.
No,
He
yeah,
doesn't
no,
wanna, like,
but he
spam-
knows
with
it's
her.
illegal to do it, so he's like, oops, I dropped my phone, and then he's in the bushes.
Oh, and this way, if you actually give him a call, he's like, hey, did you like what you saw?
That's a
Hey,
good ASMR.
you wanna come look at my dead chicken dick?
Maybe that's how he got his
No.
20-year-old wife.
Yeah.
It's a different
That's not
guy.
the same guy. I don't know. It could be. It's possible.
Jason and look at the face of the.
The phone.
Oh.
It was like shot like you could see like his little bit of his beer belly, and then the sad dick and his tidy whitey underwear like pulled down to like mid thigh.
So
Huh.
question: was it angled like up or from down?
No,
like,
down. Like it was. He
Oh,
took the
okay.
picture. It was
Top
like
down.
one of these deals.
So he didn't do like to try to. He's a dumbass.
I think he was
could've
trying
done
to
the other
stretch
way
it
and tried to
out,
get it, yeah.
and that's why the.
Mm.
I'm
Yes,
I'm
go
off.
on,
I'm
Jason.
moving
Keep
on.
going.
No. It was just sad. Like Viagra would have been nice for this guy or something. Or... So anyway, back to wrestling. Remember wrestling? We were talking about wrestling.
I think we moved off of wrestling.
Yeah.
You found a picture that you were very into there.
I'm gonna need a signature for that ass whooping.
So Ryan, who was your favorite wrestler as a kid then?
Probably Sting.
Sting. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm much older. Mine would have been the Ultimate Warrior. In the
I mean, I
Hulk
watched
Hogan,
Ultimate
Randy
Warrior. I watched
Savage
all that.
area.
You're not
Well, that
much
makes
older.
sense, especially with all the coke talk too.
Yeah.
Was he a big cokehead?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Why do you think the promos were just so like outlandish and?
Oh
just-
yeah.
Actually, both. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody in the 80s was on coke.
Oh,
I feel like
yeah,
anytime
probably.
you watch anything from the 80s, like, yeah, this whole thing was done on the power of cocaine. Like, it's just... That's how Stephen King wrote all of his books in the 80s, wasn't it? Just a sentient bag of cocaine wrote that book.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite match that stood out for you? Like mine was Hell in a Cell with Taker and Mankind when he
Not
got
really.
thrown off the top.
No, that one was wild though.
That was a fucking wild match. They did a documentary on it not that long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
On
was
the
cool.
network or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that too.
So, how many times has there been a wardrobe malfunction while you were refereeing a match? Because I feel like those little skin-tight tights,
Oh yeah.
I feel like they're going to get pulled aside on accident.
Especially if they're really fighting.
Yeah. Like, I feel like at some point somebody's junk's going to flop out for the world to see. Has that ever happened while you were out there?
Yeah, I mean, not really like, I'm glad this hasn't happened. Like, no dicks or anything. But like, I mean, ass.
Thank God.
Jason's
Yeah.
out. Jason doesn't want to know anything else.
He,
Y'all are making me out to be really gay this
You
episode.
You have started it off.
Maybe
started
it's
hugs.
I'd be gay for Russ if
Then
anybody.
you found fun.
I said that's not true, but I do like Russ a lot.
Oh man.
So, like, some bare asses, like some full moons going on
Yeah.
happened?
Yeah,
What about with the
titties
female
popping out.
wrestlers?
Yeah, titties popping out.
How often does that happen? Is it worth going?
Yeah.
Scripted or not?
I mean, yeah.
So, like, it happens often?
I mean, not like
It's not worth
not like
See plenty.
so. No, I mean like the chicks that the tits pop out. Yeah, I mean it's worth seeing their tits is what I meant.
No,
not
I mean, like, is it worth going? Like, like, how many shows am I going to have to see?
He's
but-
asking if the odds are high enough that it's worth going to.
Percentage.
What's the ticket to tit average?
Yeah.
10%. We'll go with 10%.
Ooh,
About
that's
that.
pretty
That's pretty
low.
low, Jace.
Yeah, it's 10
Yeah,
nights to see one
sorry.
pair. Maybe
Yeah,
I ought
you
to
would
just
go
find
anyway.
a highlight reel somewhere.
Just go pick up random phones. You'll find something sometime.
I'll pass. Thank you, though.
You would be good at it.
He's 0 for 1 on that.
Yeah.
The
That was
most
bad news.
the most awkward one that happened, and I wasn't even in the business yet. I was still a fan. I was at a show, and it's actually for the company that I work for now.
Yeah.
But she was wrestling, and I guess I didn't notice. You know, a 16-year-old girl. At this point, I'm not gonna pay attention to somebody's tampon string popping out. But
Nice.
yeah,
Yeah.
so that's pretty awkward. But a bunch of the guys noticed it, and they were like, "Oh, her tampon string's out of her fucking."
I mean, I
blah,
feel
blah."
like-
what the? Why? How are you looking that close? And how does
Oh,
the
come
camera?
on. You're giving them too much credit.
I see. I feel like if that happens, it's fair game, and the opponent can like grab that and rip it out, and like that could be the finishing move,
And then stick it in her
Well,
mouth,
the-
right?
like a Mortal Kombat. Too far.
Fatality.
I thought, on motherfucker, we're going.
Jumping over that bitch.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we need to keep her.
I mean, yeah. So that would be. I mean, if I had my tampon string hanging out on TV, I'd be
Pretty embarrassing.
pretty embarrassed about it. Yeah.
There's something in wrestling too. There's stuff like gets really weird at times. There's customs wrestling.
What is custom?
That I haven't
No,
heard
no,
of.
Customs.
The way
It's oh man, it's like
You
okay,
get
so
deported
straight up.
if you lose.
Oh man, that's a good one.
They load you.
Okay, so custom wrestling is pretty much like weirdo guys that have a bunch of money and
Yeah.
they want to see you wrestle in like one-piece bathing suits.
Well, that's not weird. It's like normal, isn't it? Is that? Oh, that's
got
not.
a lot of
What I
money,
would do if I had
nothing's
a lot of money.
I mean,
But I mean, there's some dudes that just have weird fetishes about that, and I thought about opening up a company because I'm like, shit, if I can make money off this and not work and just make money off fucking perverts on the internet, that sounds like the life,
Oh, you
right?
totally can.
Yeah, that's a
So,
market.
There's
everywhere for
enough
that.
weird rich dudes out there that if you just
gotta
need
worry
to find
about
the right
getting-
fetish.
You gotta get
There's
worried about
enough
getting
Sounds to
murdered,
me
though.
like you're on the right path.
there's
Yeah.
enough weird
I'm
poor
trying.
dudes that would blow their money on some shit like that.
Well,
Also,
but
Jason's
for
one of 'em.
instance, So
yeah.
one there's a company though, it's like down by Memphis, Tennessee or whatever. And
Yeah.
so like I went down there before and I mean they pay us well and it's like real legit, like we're sending tax documents. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh okay, wow. Cause like I said, a lot of times these shit shows, it's like you might be in like a fucking barn or some shit. Not a barn, but like a garage or
Yeah.
all
Money
kinds
on
of
the
weird.
table kind of thing.
Yeah, like but there was a match where this girl had to be in a submission hold for like 5 minutes. She had a nice ass, so I'm not gonna lie, it was a nice view. But I
Yeah.
was just like, God, in this like hunched over position, and your ass cheeks are just flopping. Like it's just fucking weird shit, man. But people pay it, and I mean,
well, of course.
if I'm gonna make that kind of money too, I guess I'll let my ass cheeks flop around too if I don't have to work a real job, you know.
I mean, I'll do
but-
it. I've
but-
done it for free. Why don't I do it for money?
Yeah, but no, I mean but that's the whole weird part about the fetish is like they want you to wear like a one-piece bathing suit.
Why not nude?
And
Why don't they
just-
pay enough for nude?
Oh, they do,
Okay.
but that's like a rare thing. I've never been a part of that, but I mean, maybe I need to get into that because
You pay more
that'd be
money
kinda
for a
cool.
one-piece bathing suit than you do for nude. Yeah.
Well, you got to go out and buy the bathing suit.
They're like, oh, give her a wedgie, pull her hair for 5 minutes. Like they do like these things called hair whipping matches, and they'll like just pull you by your hair, and you'll take a big old bump across the ring, and there's just weird ass shit, man. Or the barefoot matches too. That's another thing they like, these dudes. And some of them get real weird, and they're like, hey man, we need you to like they
Walk on
stripped
these
out-
grapes for 2 hours.
I thought it was strawberries.
Is that whatever it was that was on that King of the Hill episode?
There's an update from
I'm gonna
Kyle.
lay my dick on the
No.
mat, and I'm gonna need y'all to walk by and step on it every couple
Travis,
of
you
minutes.
mean?
Actually, I've had somebody walk into one of my old jobs, and that was their fetish every year. They'd call to try to find someone to wear high heels and walk on their junk in the store.
I've heard of that shit.
What the
Yeah,
fuck?
5
Yeah.
years straight, I had someone call every year trying to get somebody to do that.
Did you walk on his junk?
5
did
years
not.
straight, you volunteered.
Was this
No.
the craft
Much-
store?
No,
Oh.
it was at Payless.
How much money was he offering? Because I'm available.
He wasn't offering any. He just wanted someone
Oh.
to do it because he said he lost a dare
You got to come up with the
Every
cash,
year.
son.
Oh,
every year.
So,
Yeah.
didn't learn the first time.
so I heard you've been dealing with Juggalo wrestling.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's
Juggalos.
That's
Those-
different.
They're still around.
Yeah,
I thought they
Juggalos
quit.
are all over the place. Juggalos and
I
Juggalos.
thought after the 6th Joker's card, they were just supposed to all ascend.
There's
or
been like
something.
10 albums since then, dude. I mean, they're not. don't
More
get me
Joker's
wrong.
card albums,
They're
Jason.
not.
You know the difference.
They're not good.
They're like 6.
So, are you going to the gathering of the Juggalos this
That's
year? Or?
I was going to, and their booker fucked me on money. What surprise there, right?
I mean, it's Juggalos.
Yeah, how can I
Right.
expect good out of
And it's
like
probably
that?
good that you didn't because they know you know how they pay you at those, right?
how?
Fake.
They hand you a bag of money, a garbage bag full of like ones. Like people have seriously complained, and then just say bye, and then you're supposed to try to get out of that fucking place with a garbage bag full of money.
Yeah.
Huh.
No,
She's
they're
a wrestler.
just-
She can handle it.
I'll have to. I'm not a wrestler, but
She had
you
one
know.
match.
Oh yeah, we'll say I'm
Yeah.
a wrestler then
Yeah,
at that
I'm
point.
gonna count you as a
I'm
wrestler.
giving
Um,
you some extra props there.
Thanks.
You're in the profession,
Thanks for upping my street cred.
Who was your
Um,
opponent? Was it a midget?
No, it was.
dude.
one of
Do
the
they ever
women
have
that
normal
helped train
people
me.
wrestle a midget?
Yeah, oh yeah. They do
Oh,
that.
that
is
would
it
be-
They
like-
do
I
that in
had
the
a-
big leagues.
I had a midget that spot in the match where
wants
the
to
guy
see
throws
that?
me and you catch me, and I was like,
That's
okay,
kinda awesome.
but
yeah, but I didn't do it. 'Cause I was
No,
like, I
it
don't know.
sounds
if I wanna.
dangerous
He was
as
a heavy
fuck.
midget, and I was like, I
He
don't
was
want
a
to throw
heavy
my.
midget.
I don't want to throw my back
That's how we
out.
describe Jason.
what if I lay a bunch of pillows in the corner and we just throw you over there?
All right,
Oh,
well,
man.
we're almost an hour in. This
Oh,
is a
okay.
fascinating show so far.
So-
So
No, but going back to the
Yeah.
since we were talking about that. So I went to the Gathering of Juggalos when I was like 18, the first time, and so how the Gathering of Juggalos was. This was like when they had like it was like their biggest one. They had like they brought in like Roddy Piper, and they just brought
Oh,
in like a
nice.
bunch of names, right?
Damn.
Or no, it was the year before that.
did
but it
he
was
see
still,
dead people when he put on sunglasses while he was there? Or
What
was,
the
What?
fuck?
was that not real life? Was that a movie?
What?
Never mind, they
Are you
live.
talking about they
Oh, I
live?
thought you were
Oh, okay. I
referring-
was so confused. I
Yeah.
was like, what?
To
the
their
fuck?
meeting, to the one they had here. I thought she was talking about that show.
Oh,
Yeah, a buddy I work with, his dad was the chief of police for this town when ICP came.
Yeah.
oh, that concert that
And
turned
everybody
into
was
a riot I was at.
That's
a-
that's where
he
I
was-
thought
Are you
this
talking
was
about in
going.
Ohio? Like
No.
years ago?
No,
it was,
here.
It was here.
In this city, like our
What?
In this
town.
little tiny town.
And
Yeah.
like
Oh, God.
people were on the news like, "Hey, we're gonna kill," and then they'd say this dude's like dad's name, and like he was like 6 at the time, and he's so like
Oh.
he's watching the news as people are like, "Yeah, we're gonna kill
Such and such.
this, yeah, your dad."
Oh wow.
That's fucked up.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've told that story several times on different shows where
Yeah.
I was at an ICP concert. We went because it was
Yeah.
here, and it's like, this is going to be crazy, let's go. And they never took the stage, and it turned into a fucking riot. They were turning
sounds
cop
about
cars
right.
and shit over. It was
Oh, I
amazing.
think I remember hearing about this now.
It was fucking amazing.
Yeah. Like, what year was this?
He was probably about that age, so you're looking like probably 20 years ago now,
Yeah.
almost.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've heard about that though. Seriously, but so like, so they used to run up in Illinois. They'd have the Gathering of Juggalos.
Yeah.
Okay. And so we were booked on a show in Evansville. And me and my buddy were like, man, fuck it, let's just go up there because we knew a bunch of the wrestlers. Like, you know, they're really big like wrestling fans, and they'll occasionally wrestle.
Yeah.
The two guys from ICP or whatever.
I think that was part of their starting gimmick was they were wrestlers.
Yes, pretty much.
Yeah.
And like, they told one of the guys that like wrestles for him like years ago. They're like, hey, when we make it big, we're gonna book you on our shows. And he was like, okay, bullshit. And then he ended up getting in with them, and that's how he got, you know, he got famous off of it. But so we ended up just going to the gathering because somebody just gave us wristbands or whatever. And so then we hung out, and it's pretty wild. Like they have this thing called Drug Bridge and stuff.
Well, go on.
Exactly.
You have Jason's
I didn't go to
attention?
Drug Bridge until the following year. I like just walked by it and I was like,
Go on.
what the fuck? Like I never knew any of this shit existed. Well, the following year I ended up getting booked. So like the first year I just went for like a day and was like, oh, let me just check this out. Like I've heard all this craziness. Like, I don't like ICP. I like Twisted, the band that like was like I like some of their music, you know.
I've seen them play live.
Yeah. And
Bruce is a big juggaho.
oh, okay.
I mean, it
Yeah,
was
it's huge.
20 years ago.
Sometimes
When
he'll
it was
just
acceptable, right?
sometimes he'll just show up here with a
no,
face
when I
paint.
was that age.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
weird.
Well, so the following year, like I said, I got booked or whatever, and well, I didn't like I did like their tryout stuff and this and that, and like their I don't know, it's weird to go in that place. Well, I fucking go and I'm like, oh, let's go to this drug bridge,
Of course.
and they had like
Been my first stop.
people. Exactly.
You
So-
have a place here on the map called Drug Bridge? How do I get to there?
No, anything you can think of, they were selling it. Like, people were, like, bringing in, like, fast food and stuff to drug bridge. It's fucking weird. Like, you know, you would find everybody, obviously, a million people are selling weed, and then you see people selling coke and crack and just anything you think of, pills. People were making, like, infused, like, weed tea and just all
Gentlemen,
kinds of shit.
we have a location for our next remote show.
Where is Drug Bridge?
Drug bridge doesn't exist anymore.
God damn it.
Where do they?
No. You just don't know where it is.
Yeah,
I
you-
guarantee you
Yeah,
it
they, I
exists.
mean, okay,
You ask not Russ. he'll
they,
get you
what
there.
happened was they that location because one year like a local politician, his son went to the gathering and he like did he was like 16 and like did heroin and died in a tent and yeah.
Well, they shouldn't have let his kid go to the ICP festival.
Well, yeah,
what
like,
did they
what the
expect was
fuck?
going
For
to happen?
everybody.
Yeah, so you know, people uproar when a politician's son dies of a heroin overdose.
Where do
But-
they typically have the gathering?
Illinois is where it used to be, right?
Yeah, but I think where was this supposed to be last? Actually, it was like an hour and a half from here. Like 3 months
Yeah.
ago.
Dang.
And like I said, I was gonna go, and then the guy was like, "Oh, I overbooked you," and he wanted to use me just one day, and I was like, "You know something? You can
It's
just
not
fuck
worth the
yourself.
drive."
Just give me my money for what I."
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna do it because it's to this point now they're not even like doesn't fucking matter. It's not what it used to be, and they don't even book like the people they used to. But I mean, it's pretty cool. Like I saw MC Hammer there. That was
Random.
interesting.
That's-
Yeah.
I bet
I
he
know
knew the
you
way to
wouldn't
Drug
expect
Bridge.
that, huh?
I bet he knew the way to Drug Bridge.
probably.
Guarantee he did.
They had.
Was he wearing those pants? Are you gotta be
They're
kidding me?
called
He's still-
hammer pants.
still
How could he
running
not
around
be
in
wearing
hammer
them?
Yeah.
pants?
And then the first year I went was the year that whole Tila Tequila incident
I
happened.
remember
where they
that.
threw- Where they
Yeah.
threw fucking shit and rocks at her and stuff.
What did she
Yeah.
expect? She went to the gathering of the Juggalos.
Like that was just a joke on her. Like, did she really think that they wanted her there? They were just going there to shit on her.
She should have done some
Ha,
research.
literally, right?
All right, well, let's take a break because some people got to pee.
Yep.
And we'll be back in 5:10.
Oh man.
Hi. What y'all think about that video? You like it? I hope you did. If you did, be sure to leave us some feedback or something.
We have readings over Kansas that were very pleasant today. However, we are looking for a new front to begin to drift south and eastward. The central and eastern parts of Kansas will very probably be cloudy in the morning, and then western Kansas will begin to get increasing cloudiness by tomorrow afternoon. Today, however, very, very pleasant reading. 73 up in the Goodland area, 72 at Garden City, 70 reported by Dodge City and Liberal, 72 over by the good folks of And in the Ponca City Blackwell area, 68 degrees today. Winds southerly at about 15 with gusts of 25 miles an hour. The barometric pressure 30.00 and is rising. And no precipitation. We're about a half inch ahead for the year, and 1 5300ths behind for the year so far. We'll be looking for a little bit of a change tomorrow, and of course the possibility of some scattered showers. Today, of course, there's nothing showing up on the radar. However, the satellite photo was pretty interesting for the western half of the U.S. Rain showers and thunder showers along that frontal system, and that wide band of fairly heavy snows. Now, what will happen each time that you see the frontal system on there? That begins at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then you'll see the cloud pattern move until 2 o'clock this afternoon. So as of that time, of course, the front was way off in the northwest. Now, however, it's moving into the central part of the nation with a couple of high-pressure cells behind it. And a few pockets of low pressure and a fairly heavy band of rain showers and snow all the way from the eastern portions of Montana down to western sections of Nevada. And of course the massive high picking up warm moist air from the south, bringing it northward. So when the two masses collide over Kansas, we are looking for some precipitation, and we'll talk about that.
What's in this little blue egg that keeps Barbara Eden looking slim and trim?
Oh, there's only one answer to that. It's Legs Control Top Pantyhose. See, Legs slims and trims but doesn't bind. So you get comfort and control.
Stretching, bending, standing, setting. There's one pantyhose that's always fitting. Nothing beats a great pair of legs.
Everyone watching can expect to be in a car accident. A safety belt more than doubles your chances of surviving. Please wear it.
Will security please report to Section 3? Security to Section 3, please.
Mics are live.
Mike's. That's better. My mic was going out at the end of that segment.
Yeah, I'm going to have to, on the next break, I'm rewiring all the mics. I'm using all new cables on everything. Fuck, I didn't drop my phone.
Sweet-ass lo-fi.
Yeah, that's all we're playing right now.
That's what I'm all for this, man. Keep playing this shit.
All right, welcome back to the show, formerly known as Out for Delivery. I would like to invite all of you to visit the website at eldoradostudio.net, and you can give us money there under the support tab, or you can just say hi. But the money's nice. We got to keep the Amish off our back for the cabin.
They keep drive-by horsing you.
I would well, yeah. Throwing
Piles
fucking
of horse shit on this porch.
sticking an Indian corn in it with a late notice. This is also normally where I would mention our upcoming events, but we have none because we are going into peak season. With the holiday this week, it is going to be nasty.
We've got the 200th show.
Yeah, we haven't discussed anything about what we're going to do on that. We haven't had enough people here to talk about it. So.
But that is probably the only event really coming up.
We'll probably discuss the 200th show on the day of the 200th show.
What show are we on now?
I don't know.
I think we're like 6 away or 5 away.
Something like that.
Also, Twitch, jump on there. Give us a subscribe. It's free if you're an Amazon Prime member.
Yep. And we get a lot of money from that, believe it or not.
Yeah.
We get about half of what a normal sub is.
Doesn't cost you anything. One free and one a month.
And Charlene's taking pictures. Apparently she didn't hear about our no photography policy.
You gotta wait till the end of the show for that.
This isn't a Tool concert.
Right.
Alright, so welcome back into the show. That is like water with the pulp. Like,
yeah, dude, it's fucking sweet.
Pulpy water.
I can't even look at it.
I'm
It
not
makes
dr-
me
you just said
sick
you're
to
sick. I'm
look
not
at.
drinking after you.
It's disgusting,
It's like
dude.
chunks of raw chicken or something.
It's
tiny pieces.
That's not supposed to be
floating
drank.
in water.
I'm sick because
You have
I don't-
aloe vera gel in it.
Yeah.
You don't drink that.
You can eat that.
That's like the hand sanitizer, dude. That's a good way to
It's
get
literally
drunk.
what it is.
Yeah.
That's not really. I mean, no. Hand
Who
sanitizer's
said?
Walmart in the Hispanic section.
I always thought aloe was topical use only as well.
We used to have an aloe plant in our kitchen.
Those things are awesome.
That we would break pieces off when somebody burnt their finger.
You don't eat it though.
Yeah,
Not like
but,
you chewed on it after
No,
you rubbed it on your finger.
I never did that. No.
It's super hydrating.
Super hydrating.
Antioxidants.
Chunky fucking water, dude. You're drinking chunky water.
but you
what is it? Okay, explain to me what antioxidants are.
I don't
Yeah,
fucking
go ahead.
know. That was just a buzzword I threw out there.
Super hydrating. Water is super hydrating.
Yeah, but this is, it's got double the water.
No.
How is that?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like,
H4O2.
Because it's a 50 fluid
Oh,
ounce, it's
man.
double the water.
It's got like the chunks in there.
How much did you pay for that bag of chunky water?
It's like $2.
That's too much.
I'll
That's
drink
just
one of-
that's water with
Just gonna
chunks.
tell you this isn't a bag.
That water is went bad.
Box. It's a box.
Yeah.
It's
box
like,
of water.
It's like it tastes like grape juice. There's other flavors too.
There's artificial grape flavor in it.
Yeah,
So it's artificially
They couldn't even
flavored
put real
chunky water.
I know. I mean, they got in it. You might
You
as
know
well
what they
put
should
them.
have done is just put slivers of grape instead of aloe, and then it would have had real grape, and it wouldn't have had aloe.
Y'all talk is
It'd have been like punch at a high school party, man.
Still like the best drink you'll ever have.
No, it's
I
not.
doubt that.
You're too small.
Because I'll never have it.
Sir, Coke exists.
Yeah.
Whether you know it or not, it exists.
Ugh.
Jazz is like looking up the
Anyway.
nutritional information or something.
Yeah.
She's deep into it.
No,
over
I
there.
want to look up the
Hold
difference between the
on.
ingredients in this and then actually like aloe lotion and stuff.
Put a picture of that,
That
shit
thing-
on the monitors.
That
Okay.
thing is 4 servings. It's got 44 grams of sugar per serving.
That's what.
190 something grams of sugar. No wonder it's good.
Yeah, but like I don't drink it like in one sitting. Like I'd take it with me. I'd drink a few sips. I
You're
I'm
halfway
not-
through that bottle right
That
now.
is
Yeah,
chunky
but I
water,
started
dude.
it last night. At like
That water's
7.
turned.
No, you're fucking wrong.
It looks like something from Resident Evil.
The
turns
chunks don't even
delicious.
move in there. They just sit
You're
there.
right,
They're
it's really cool.
suspended.
You get really
That's
fucked up.
that's because of the gel that's
No.
in there.
You get
He's your
really
son.
fucked
You
up.
take a
It's
drink.
not-
Actual
If
gel.
it were water, they'd be moving and floating around.
Give it to your dad. He'll take a
You're
drink.
all kinds of fucked
Fuck
up.
off.
It's like a little prism.
I'm not.
The gel inside of it.
Seriously,
My water should
look
not
at
have
that.
gel.
On the monitors, it even looks gross. Like, it looks gross in real life. I was thinking on the monitor it looked better, but no, it still looks like chunky water on the monitor.
What about that made you want to get that?
He saw the DM drinking it the other night.
No, I've been drinking this for fucking 6 months.
I have never seen you drink this once.
I don't bring it here.
This is why.
Yeah.
That's a good plan. I don't know
felt
why
like
you changed
shit.
it up.
I feel like shit. I was like, I'm gonna drink this. It'll calm my stomach down a little bit.
You know what you could do? What'll probably help you out is instead of drinking that, just make some sugar water like the bug from Men in Black, and you'll be fine.
More sugar.
He's chewing his water.
It's nice. It's fun. It relieves stress.
Water.
He's chewing his water. I looked over and he's chewing it.
It's like Kool-Aid
chewy.
without the Kool-Aid.
Okay, here's the part.
Or the
that oral
No, that's the
ingestion
sugar.
of aloe vera is potentially toxic.
I'm doing fun.
Like it can cause.
Thin.
Okay, and by the way, I want to point out this is another language.
Oh, it's like
So
Spanish.
whatever this
No, it is
is
Spanish. It's
probably
not like
been
Spanish.
approved by our FDA.
Oh no, that's not FDA approved.
Do I give a shit?
You know what that looks like? That looks like some
Well, you
shit
will
you
when
would
you
get
have
from one of these like Herbalife multi-level marketing companies. It looks like
Oh yeah.
power water.
Like, oh hey, if you drink this, it's gonna be a full cleanse of your system.
Yeah.
I'm surprised there's not more buzzwords.
Does that cleanse out your colon well?
It's got vitamin C and calcium. I don't know.
Well,
what
it says that aloe vera causes diarrhea. Part of that toxicity. The last it decreases absorption of drugs. Your aloe there.
Oh.
Just so you.
A lot of things are making sense.
So you know, it does. He said he was sick. I think he's just sick because he's been drinking that for 6 months.
The reverse
Yeah.
of
It's all the
diarrhea.
toxicity from this is now poisoned him.
Just like that, we get to the bottom of it.
Yep.
I'm still gonna drink it. Still fucking good.
I don't know what you guys say, man. This isopropyl alcohol is good.
Where do you even get that?
The Hispanic section at my Walmart, which is in a heavy.
Who shops in the Hispanic section?
But it's from South
Did you
Korea.
get
like she's half German, so I get why she might wander over to the foreign food section. But who's walking through like unless you're getting real sugar Coke?
No shit. Half of my Walmart is Hispanic. Like there's like shit in foreign languages like on every aisle.
Yeah, but I thought it was all like. Never mind.
It's not segregated.
Never mind. I can't remember who the immigrant community is over there from. What war they're from?
It's Somalia.
Yeah, that one.
It's it's
No,
Hispanic.
you guessed it on the first try. You don't have to keep going.
No, I'm just naming off all of them.
No, that's literally like there was a massive influx of Somalians to this town, and that's where they all moved to. It like happened overnight, like during the war.
They claimed a territory and said, "This is our
What
community
fucking
now."
war did we fight with Somalia?
No, they were having a war.
If we fought a war with them, why would they be moving here?
Because they realize it's that much better.
Shit, they got planes.
I
Let's
mean,
move
he's not
there.
wrong, but
Shit, you mean I don't have to be a pirate?
I mean, they have pirates in Somalia.
They do.
this
Yeah.
is our ship. I am the captain.
Have you seen that movie with the?
It's Tom
where
Hanks.
they-
Of course, I've seen it.
Okay.
He's the
pretty good.
president of the local Tom Hanks fan club.
Got my back tattoo and everything.
He goes around to garbage cans that say thanks on them. Like, you know, they say thanks, and he puts a period in between the T and the H, and then he puts a picture of Tom Hanks on it. It's like his little Banksy rebellion.
Mm-hmm.
It's a funny joke.
His favorite movie is Big.
He's running with it too far, though.
And tied with Joe Bucks
Really,
versus the
Big,
Volcano.
Big's your favorite one?
No, I'm not even the fan club member.
Yeah.
I would
mean,
have said
that,
Joe.
You're right.
Joe
You're not
was
the
the
member.
volcano.
You're the head person of it.
President. You're the founder.
Which one would you have said?
Joe versus the volcano.
Yeah. The man with one red shoe. I'm running out of old Tom Hanks movies that weren't any good. I'm sorry. I'm done. The rest of them are pretty good.
Dante's Inferno.
I like Burbs.
Burbs was alright.
Dude,
few,
Burbs is
Burbs
like
was alright.
one of the
Yeah.
classic 80s movies.
You Got Mail. There were a few romantic ones he did back then too.
I don't count those. He did those for the money.
No, but I'm
Oh.
saying those are probably among his favorites.
Oh, probably.
You Got Mail?
Sleepless in Seattle. No, that
No.
wasn't him.
What happened to Adam Sandler? Can we talk about that for a second?
Did you see
He's
his
still
new
releasing movies. He's
what was
they-
that
like, he's had
Netflix thing he did?
2
or
or 3 come out on Netflix
Oh,
now.
the
I
murder
s-
mystery one
I
was
saw
really good.
the Cobbler.
Anybody seen that?
The series
I know what you're
movie
talking
with
about,
him
though.
where he was a shoe cobbler.
Yeah, I know what
It was watchable,
I want Billy Madison too.
but it wasn't a comedy.
How you gonna get Billy Madison 2 with a 50-year-old
No,
Adam Sandler?
no.
Like, that's not gonna
You
work.
gotta leave that alone.
Just
I
let-
wanna
just
have
let it be.
Also, like he already went through school. That was the premise.
Now he's going through college.
Why would he have to?
Yeah.
I should be a goddamn movie exec. He's going through college. Come on.
What?
We're redoing all these movies.
His kids moved out of the house
The
now. He wants to
Burbs.
better himself. You know, he's like,
I'm-
hey,
I'm-
second career.
I'd rather see Happy Gilmore too.
I'm fine with the current level of Adam Sandler movies we have.
I don't like. It's just like his current movies. I just don't. They're not the same appeal.
No.
And you always say, "Oh, because you're
I
at the right
agree.
age for his older movies." No, because they're still fucking classics.
I mean,
man.
No,
he's
it's
done
because
a,
he's still trying to do the same thing.
yeah, but
His best movies were in
they're
the
bad
90s.
movies, but they're still fun movies. Some of those. I mean, Little Nicky was a terrible movie,
Little Nicky
That was
was
good.
shit.
but
I
it was
like
there was
Little
parts that I liked that
I
I
think that was
enjoyed.
the
Little
last one
Nicky's like
with
20
his-
years old at this point.
Where I
just so y'all know.
legitimately
Longest
laughed
Yard.
at.
Mr. Deeds are the longest yards.
Zohan,
I
don't mess with Zohan.
That was about where he started to turn for me.
Is that the one where he was the hairdresser?
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was not
Israeli.
good.
But he was also
That
the
was bad.
ex-Israeli.
But I mean, that's a very Adam
Special
Sandler movie,
Ops.
though.
It was
There's
bad.
a bunch of dumb shit in that.
I hate Adam Sandler
How can you hate him?
because I hate
I don't
comedy
hate
usually.
him.
Like, you see the
She
do-over
hates
with him and the little tiny blonde guy.
Yeah.
Let me explain something to you. I have seen 2 movies in the past 2 years.
Jennifer.
In
Aniston.
general, or just of his? Because he puts them out a lot.
I think probably 2 movies in the past 2 years. One was the Aladdin musical.
It Part 2.
Oh, 3. It Part 2, and the last Star Wars movie. I don't watch the movies.
You're missing out, man.
I watch old television shows on fucking repeat for weeks at a time.
Do you
Right
not
now-
watch
For
movies on
months at a
Netflix
time.
either.
Barely.
God, he's done a ton of fucking
Almost
movies.
never.
God, he's done a lot of movies.
Yeah.
Right now I'm still on Malcolm in the Middle. It's getting a little old. I'm probably gonna have to kick over to something else.
Malcolm in the Middle killed me by the time the last season came up.
I still have plenty of those episodes I've
Have
not
you-
seen.
Have you watched the Goldbergs yet?
No,
That's a very Malcolm in the Middle
keeps
feel.
Popping up on my
That's got some
watch
funny
list,
shit in
It's
it.
got
I might
the
watch
blonde
that.
girl from Reno 911.
Yeah.
which is good.
Yeah,
And Superstore.
It's got a very Malcolm in the Middle feel to it.
Superstore, like their first couple episodes this season were a little meh, and they're back in full swing. Last 2 are really great.
We started watching Schitt's Creek.
Is that good?
My mom and
That's
dad
really
watched
good.
that. It's
got
all right.
Eugene Levy.
Yeah,
It's
it-
it's smart humor. It
It is.
feels kind of like Arrested Development, where it's a little slow to start, and then towards the end of this first season, it's like worked into itself, and it's a pretty good show.
I might check that out. It also pops up on my "you should watch this" bullshit.
Yeah, the preview pisses me off. I don't know why.
There's something up with you and your.
He don't
fucking
feel well. He's got
microphone.
fucking eight pounds of plant in him.
Toxic
Hello?
plant.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry, hello. I've eaten plain aloe vera before, and it was
Do
Like a-
that.
You just peel the
Well,
skin
like,
back and
I had sunburn when we went to Florida.
In
and
your
this-
mouth?
And this guy that like was growing weed out back of his ice cream shop gave me some for my burns.
I
And
feel like
Hey,
I should
you already
know
know
this
to
guy.
ignore
How am I
any
not-
advice he
really
gives you.
weird, dude. He was cool as shit. It was like him and his parents, and they were just fucking happy as shit. They remembered
Yeah,
our
'cause they had all
names.
the weed, man.
Yeah.
Well, they were fucking. I'd be happy too
It's-
about a pound of fucking weed, man.
Smelled like weed. He's like, "Oh, we got some aloe vera plants in the back. I'll go grab you some leaf or two." And he came.
hold on, did he do quotes when he said aloe vera?
No, dude, he came up with some real aloe vera, and then like I was like putting it on my back, and then like I cut it open. And I was like, "I'm gonna try a little bit because I heard
Wait,
it's good."
he was putting it on your back, or you?
And
were
then even
putting it on
that
your
guy
back?
was like, "No, you're not supposed
Yeah,
to put
that's-
this
that's
inside
not
your
why I
body.
gave
It's
you those
topical
leaves."
only."
And it
He kept
tasted
trying
like
to eat
shit.
it. The guy kept putting it. No, no.
No. No.
There's a nice little ice cream shop. It's down in St. Pete's. It's right near the beach. It's really nice. You guys should check it out.
I'm guessing probably what happened is
Good price
finally
for
after
weed,
like
too.
the 5th time he said don't eat, he said fine kid, do whatever the fuck you want to do.
He just gave up.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
The neighbor's like he said I could do it.
I still have the image of him eating that candle burned into my brain, man.
Oh God.
He struggled
That
so
glitter
hard. Oh,
candle.
it was beautiful. Oh, at your 40th.
They had a surprise 40th birthday party for me, and her brother told him that the candles on the cake were edible.
And
so
they
he
weren't
picked
small.
up Huge,
a big number of
glitter-covered
candles.
wax candles, and he just picked it up and took a huge bite out of it.
And he kept
then
chewing.
Fucking
and
chewed.
ate it.
They have like
He did
they
not
have,
give
Give
up
him
on that
paint
bit.
chips as a child?
No.
They
no.
probably just found them.
They have like candy candles, don't they?
They do, but after the first 2 minutes of trying to bite through it, you should have realized.
Even though they were necessarily a thing, how would I know what they taste like? How would I know how they work?
I mean, it's just wax. You can eat wax.
I mean,
Yeah,
like,
you can,
it's
but it
not
was
gonna kill you.
It's funny watching them go.
The glitter is not is the bigger
Trying to
problem. The tiny shards of metal.
It's fine.
I've eaten bigger shards of metal.
Goldschlager has tiny shards of metal, and nobody's sued them yet.
Yeah, joke's on them. I've been drinking that for 25 years and then sifting my poop, so one day.
You're going to be able to buy another bottle of Goldschlager.
Have y'all ever seen the
it's
episode of
actually
Raising
all-
Hope where the old lady swallows her tooth?
And she's got the gold filling.
Yeah, and it was gold, so they're like sifting through her poop to get the
that's
gold
it.
tooth. 'cause
That's
it
a good episode, though.
It was gonna be worth like $400, and the cashier from the grocery store shows up and is like, "I know y'all are going through poop, and what keeps bothering me is you bought a slotted spoon. You want this?" Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Avery ate a candle. That's the thing that happened.
It's not a big deal.
I feel like it's less of a big deal than you like eating aloe. I feel like one of those is going to be far more detrimental to you than the other, and it's going to be the aloe.
I mean, it's probably good. Like they sell it. Like Mexicans live for a long time.
It's probably
I don't
good.
know. Ooh.
I mean, they live for like an average amount of time, right?
I think average amount of time. Yes.
Okay.
I would. Does it say on there anywhere? Do not drink.
I've seen lava lamps with less shit in it.
I mean, it says bebida, which is like it's like means like drink or something, right?
Sure, we'll go with that.
Yes, it does.
I mean, it's some form conjugation of drink. I don't know. It also says aloe vera drink on
Yeah,
it.
it's the same thing underneath it. They have to put the English and Spanish both on there. It's just aloe vera.
I don't
drink.
trust the company. The company name is Faranon.
That's like
That's too many syllables.
That's my girlfriend's dad's name.
Huh?
It's some close to that. I don't know. Farron.
You don't know what your girlfriend's dad's
It's
name
Farron, but I don't know how it's
is? So
fucking
you're
spelled.
practically family with this man. You should know his name.
I mean, it's Farron.
You should probably go home and ask your girlfriend, how do you say your dad's name?
There's a picture of a sphinx head on there, so it's probably similar in pronunciation to pharaoh.
Oh, that would make sense. That would make too much
Pharaohan.
Bruce over here bringing logic into this
They also sell
discussion.
Mexican
Well, I'm
candies.
trying to get to the root
and
of
I've
this
been enjoying it.
absurdity.
I forgot we had that.
Yeah, that's him eating a candle. That's his reaction to having a candle of glitter in his mouth.
Look how
short
young
my
you
hair
are.
is.
man. He looks so young there.
I know.
It was before the candle and the aloe.
I guess so.
He has been drinking aloe for 6 months, he
That
said.
actually kind of looks like Harry Potter. Are you sure that's not Harry Potter?
Stop eating fucked up
Fatter
shit.
hands.
Stop eating fucked up shit, man. You're aging too quickly.
I
didn't
think
say a
the
fatter
problem
Harry
is also
Potter. I
he
just said
believed
Harry
my
Potter
brother.
with fatter hands.
Do what?
I said the problem is he believes my brother when he says stuff. That's
Right.
a bad plan.
I think he knows better than that now, surely.
I hope so.
Fuck. I had something that's gone.
Yeah, derailed.
Were you have loose hair strand? What was that?
Funny
He was trying to
story.
find his thought.
Those are the exact same glasses I'm wearing now.
That's also said you should go see
Yeah,
an
you
eye
should
doctor.
get your eyes
I
looked
can't
at.
read anymore. It's
Go see an eye doctor,
they're
man.
fucking pricey, man.
Dude, an eye doctor exam is $40. Then you order your glasses on Zenny.com.
I mean, I guess
Most
if you
health
put it like
insurance,
that.
isn't it just free for the eye exam
Put
once
your
a year?
mic a little closer to you.
Sorry.
No, you can move the
There we
mic.
go. I said, isn't an eye exam usually free once a year anyway? With
If you have eye insurance.
Do you not have eye insurance?
Do we have insurance?
I
You're
don't
not on
have
his
eye
thing
insurance.
anymore.
It should be.
Glasses, yeah, he's not 25 yet.
Oh, I thought he was 25.
No. Glasses, for me, are cheaper than eye insurance for me and your mother both.
Huh.
Now, the person that cracks me up is Kara.
Yeah.
Pays for eye insurance and does not wear glasses. If there's an insurance,
She has kids, though, don't she?
She does, but they don't wear glasses.
Mm.
If there's an insurance that is offered to her, she buys it. She has
Paranoid.
cancer
I
insurance.
mean, eye insurance is
amputation
like 80
insurance.
cents a check.
Yeah,
or
it's not that
something.
much.
So we need to come up with some midget wrestling insurance or something, so we can have a little bit of both worlds there for you.
I really want to do a remote show at a midget wrestling show with all of us.
You got somebody in there.
I know.
Alright, well, then we'll make it happen. We should have a wrestling midget show and just sponsor it at like a bar somewhere.
That sounds like money.
It does sound like money, but hey,
Here's
we can
the one-
find a guy that has a fetish about
Oh,
that.
that's a good point. We just gotta find the pervs.
Yes.
All right.
Anybody listening,
Or
if
we could
that
just
if
sell
that fits
tickets.
your, you know.
Just go on Craigslist. I'm sure you'll find a bunch.
We've done a lot of
That
event
life,
planning
too,
in
would
our
be a good
lives.
one.
Yeah, there you go.
What part of our past experience in event planning makes you want to plan another event?
Midget wrestling?
The money.
You've never planned a midget wrestling event.
I know a couple midgets
got
who
me
make
there.
this happen.
That's the thing. The event we planned, we didn't want to do any of that shit that
We
was
didn't even
set
wanna
up.
go to it.
No. This, I want to be there already.
You also have an inn that can probably help plan.
And I have a low-setting wrestling ring. That's perfect for midgets. See,
You
this is
own
what-
your own ring?
That's like a rock'em socket.
So this one
Here.
might make money.
Let me.
Dude.
How can I get hooked up to the
It's
monitor?
another reason to.
If
do
you
it.
You can send her a
you
picture.
can, or you can send it to me.
If
I
you
will
have
just do
Google
that then.
Home
How about that?
installed, yeah.
Let me find a picture.
I mean,
good
you know how
old
serious you gotta be
wrestling
about wrestling if you have your own ring. Like
Yeah.
that's
Nothing
that's
wrong
not
with
a
that.
hobby.
I've known people that did that.
Had their own wrestling ring.
Yeah, it's in Alabama, but
Yeah, that's
Alabama.
Everybody with a backyard in the 90s.
It's like a pool in Alabama.
No, it's
they don't
more common
swim.
than
They'd
bowls.
rather wrestle than swim.
Live PD's been stationed in Alabama for the past few weeks. That's been interesting. There's a lot of what appears to be racial profiling going on in Alabama.
You don't say.
You'll
Very
probably
sorry.
laugh at this one.
Oh, did you send it to me?
No, I'll send this to you though real quick.
Just send it to Jazz.
Okay, I will.
Yeah, I'll
And
put my
she can
number
put it
in
on
your
the
phone.
monitor.
I just don't want to give it out on air.
Why not?
Yeah.
Are you worried
Everybody
somebody
else
will,
has.
Are you worried somebody will forget to edit it out of the show whenever they say in the show how they're going to have to edit it out and mark down the time and then they don't do it anyway?
No, because you've done that multiple times, and that's the only time you've edited it.
You-
Every other time, you let it go to YouTube.
Oh, yeah, it always goes to YouTube.
Yeah,
That's
but the
fine.
other times you didn't edit out the number.
Speaking of YouTube, the marathon show from this year is available on YouTube. If you missed any part of that or the whole thing, you can watch all glorious 12 hours of it on YouTube.
Was last year's?
This year's.
No, just this year.
Last year's went to the top bidder.
Oh yeah. So Passmaster has it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was here though, so we couldn't do that same
Yeah.
setup. We
Yeah.
needed a different thing for it to be.
The Passmaster, just so you know, is the gentleman behind you in
Behind
the
you.
duck hat. That is the
Oh,
Passmaster.
I didn't even see that picture earlier.
The
How do you miss it?
The
I don't
patron.
know. I was focused on
I
your
see it in my
Black
dreams.
Panther
I
looking.
walk in and bow to him every time I come in.
The
Sorry.
patron saint of El Dorado Studios.
if you don't, he
the
stares
Passmaster.
at
I
you the
know.
whole time you're here.
Yeah. So,
Trying to find.
midget wrestling. So we set this up.
Yes,
We
it's
do
gonna happen.
live broadcast from the midget wrestling.
You're promising an awful lot. We got to deliver.
I'm just spitballing here.
That's
I don't know how to
sideways.
turn it. That's how it is when it was sent.
So how
Alright.
often do you just play in the ring? You just go out there and like run across the ropes, like you know how they speed you up, like in the video games?
Yeah, I just get my Ultimate
That's
Warrior
exactly
on,
how
do some
that goes.
coke, and just run the ropes.
Who's Mr. Magoo in the picture?
That's my father.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Damn, dude, just call her dead.
Son of a dick.
That's not a dick. That's just I'm saying he looks kind of like
Shit,
him.
dude.
What the fuck?
Mr. Magoo,
That,
come on.
That was at Phantom Fest a few years ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they used it for a video game tournament.
The wrestling ring for a video
Yeah.
game tournament?
Yeah.
I gotta. What's in the
Interesting.
back? Is that a bouncy castle type
Hell
thing in the
yes.
back? So we got wrestling.
Do you own the bouncy castle? Asking for a friend. Because
Can we get that?
that
on
could
the
be
show?
fun.
That'd be fun.
So we could have that at the next marathon. Out there
Oh.
next to the tents, have a bouncy castle.
We could just have the midget wrestling in the bouncy castle.
Oh, there you go.
And I got an end at Flying Axes too, so we can have like axe throwing too.
Oh, that's not a good combination with the bouncy,
Bouncy
castle.
house, yeah.
But why are you sides of a building or
I don't
something?
know.
That's asking for a kid to get killed right
All
there.
the people
Oh.
you know.
I'm gonna send you something else real quick.
So like, are they like bouncy to walk on? I've never been on a wrestling ring.
Yeah, how
It's
does
just
that
plywood, isn't it? Like plywood with a not plywood,
So,
but
it's like a metal. So this ring actually was originally made for Hulk Hogan had like midget wrestling. It was like Hogan's Micro or something.
Fucking Hulk Hogan.
And
I mean, if Hulk Hogan's okay with it, we gotta be.
Oh,
okay
yeah,
with
'cause
it.
he's the-
exactly. And I don't know what happened, but the guy who makes the rings, he's actually local to around here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so for some reason, I guess they didn't need the show. I think it was gonna be like a wrestling show, and then they didn't do it. This was my Halloween costume. I was a blind ref at our last big show, and everybody was like, "What are you doing?" And then they were like, "Ah, blind ref." I'm like, "Yeah, you never see the calls, right?" So it's
Nice.
another local ref.
So now we have a hookup for coke, midgets, and a wrestling ring,
And maybe a bouncy house.
and maybe a bouncy house. No way this is gonna end poorly.
No, this is gonna be amazing. Nothing could go wrong.
did you find like a genie's lamp up in Ohio? Did you make a?
So what would you like?
Coke, midgets, and a wrestling ring.
Done.
She's here.
You actually got
Granted.
4 though, because of the bouncy castle. You can't
That's
forget
true.
about that.
That was in the same photo.
I'm a little worried I fell off that bridge I was talking about earlier, and this is all just my dying dream before I check out for good.
Fell off the drug bridge.
I have fell off the drug bridge a few times, sir. Metaphorically and physically.
Oh man.
So we do a midget wrestling. We do a live remote. Stream it on Twitch.
Yeah.
We charge ticket money. It not only promotes midget wrestling,
but after delivery,
it also promotes El Dorado Studio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see any flaws in this plan except for the money it's going to take to do this.
and the people running it.
Well, yeah, but she's going to run it.
Well, yeah,
she
true,
has the
true, true.
experience.
I trust her.
I can.
That's what he
you
meant
know,
by the
you all
money
know
it
Bridge
takes
of the
to do
Midget,
this.
right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
I've heard of her.
So one of my
I'm unfamiliar with her
friends-
work, however.
I've never
okay.
seen it.
You never actually seen her work. Well, one of my friends used to date Bridget the Midget. That's in wrestling.
How many midget friends do you have?
How many midget? I don't fucking know her. He fucked her, but I don't know her. I'm just saying that might be another end.
So
I could
he
talk to
wasn't a
him.
midget?
No, he's not a midget. He's a hardcore wrestler.
Oh, see, I just feel like a normal-sized guy dating a girl midget is
Especially
just,
if you're a wrestler and you're probably like big.
How do the logistics work on that? I'm only asking you because you're around that so much.
I don't think she's ever
assume-
fucked a midget.
No. That's
not
not.
at all.
No, I don't. I wouldn't think it would work well the other way. That's not what I meant. I meant the way you were talking about.
I don't know. Maybe they just
Look at
maybe
the
guys
math.
wanna
dick,
fuck-
Look at the
midget
math
vagina.
going.
I mean, if I was a dude, I think I'd want to fuck a midget so I could be like, man, my
Oh yeah,
dick's
no, I
fucking
see it from the
ginormous.
guy's
Look
point
how
of view.
fucking big it
I'm talking
is."
about chick.
See, I would be worried. Like, I think if a normal-sized
Yeah,
dude,
she stabbed somebody too recently. She might be going to prison, so I don't know if we can get her now.
Might not be able to get her.
a midget porn star is not only a midget porn star, but also a stabby midget porn star.
I hear a book in the future.
I gotta be
She
honest.
was
I
more
I
than a
never saw
porn
this one
star.
coming.
She was in a couple episodes of HBO's Bunny House or whatever.
Well, it's still
that
Isn't that just
What is
porn?
that?
Yeah.
But HBO.
No, it
Softcore.
It
Let me
was
find something else. That
was it prostitution?
prostitution.
Mm.
The Bunny House.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I never watched
I didn't
it.
see that either.
She worked for them. She was a prostitute, and guys.
I bet she
Oh,
brought in a
shit.
lot of money.
It was in Nevada.
I feel like anybody that paid to
Nevada.
have sex with Bridget the midget, their computer should be checked for child porn. I feel like there's a lot of overlap.
They don't.
in
They
that
don't
Venn
look.
diagram.
Yeah, they're not.
No,
She
they're
does not-
very-
But they're the same
No.
height.
So you think hold a thumb over their face?
Oh, we're getting on the borderline here, guys. With some show.
I'm backing off.
Pedophiles are after size, not anything else. It's just size.
I'm just saying. I
You
feel like
for
there's gonna be some
them?
over.
You sound very knowledgeable.
I've talked to some former pedophiles.
Why?
Okay.
Jason,
Whoa, 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 whoa.
I'm very concerned.
Why?
Nope.
Hey, we still got 17 minutes.
We're moving on.
I need to know what a former pedophile.
No, you don't, Bruce. It's nope. You don't.
Off-
We're-
Well, first I was a kid, and then I was an adult.
What?
That did not work.
It didn't, but I knew where I
Nope.
was going.
Yeah, he does not need any more of that. The toxicity in that has already reached his brain.
But like, you get it because they were.
Nope.
Nope.
And
It's
I.
It's like he's eating aloe all over again. Nope.
We're fine.
Nope.
We're gonna ignore it.
It was fun.
Anyway, what were we talking about? Bridget.
Yeah, Bridget the Midget. And
so
that
she
led
doesn't
to
go
bad
prison,
things.
maybe.
Here's my question: is when you type in Bridget the
Yeah,
Midget and you
what?
put up the pictures of Bridget the Midget, why does Ray Stevens put that on the screen?
That did kind of.
One of these things is not like the others.
Careful, we're gonna get flagged.
Maybe whatever she did had something to do
It's
with Ray
because the
Stevens.
title underneath it says Midget by Ray Stevens on Amazon.
Oh.
So it's just
Oh.
taking it from the word midget. That's why.
Do you remember when Harlan would piss everybody off by playing that Shriners song loud as fuck after Lodge some nights?
Mm-hmm.
And he would laugh the entire time. He thought it was the height of comedy. What was it called? The Shriner something.
I know the song you're talking about.
Whatever it was, he thought it was the height of comedy. He was like, Roy, motorcycle. And he'd just laugh like crazy. And it was like the 20th time he'd heard the fucking song. I always thought he was a little retarded because of that. Like something had happened to him. That...
6-year-old kid watching the same movie over and over and over.
Yes.
Is that a Ray Stevens song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. He loved Ray Stevens. That's one thing you could always say about Harlan is he was a big Ray Stevens fan. Huge fan of
They
the
have
Ray
a
Stevens.
midget box set for him.
We should get him that for Christmas.
There you go.
The After Lodge crew should present him with a
Ray
signed
Stevens
Ray
box set.
Stevens box set. It can't
But
cost
you
more
should
than $20.
You should glue stick a picture of Bridget the Midget on the front of it.
I don't know that Harlan would enjoy that. Maybe he would. I don't know. Can you text him and see how he feels about Bridget the Midget? Get his live thoughts on Bridget the Midget?
Yes.
Thank you. We'll anxiously await his reply in 4.5 hours. If he's still Harlan, that's about how long it'll take.
Shriners Convention.
Shriners Convention. Yeah. Roy, how'd you get that motorcycle into that hotel room? Jesus. He'd play it like half the people would leave. And I think that's why he did it. Because he was trying to get rid of people. So he'd play it full blast in the middle of the dining room.
It worked.
I almost left a few times. I'd go outside, pretend like I left, come back in when I heard it go off. So yeah, midget wrestling.
Yeah.
Now our new stretch goal.
Yeah, I'm pumped about this now. I'm super
She's
excited.
on board.
Oh, I'm sorry. I always forget to tell you, half the shit we talk about never happens.
Well, shit.
We're like really disappointing parents in that way.
Oh yeah.
You just
Like,
broke her heart.
it
I
might
hope you know
happen.
that.
Well, if we ever win that pot, that we all put in for the
Oh,
lotto,
yeah.
that could happen.
Yeah, we covered that on the show about how many people are going to quit because they won the lottery.
Everybody's
Yeah.
like, if we win, we're all fucking leaving.
Yeah, no.
Our bitter asses.
I tried telling them, no, it's going to be like $37,000. Like, you make more than that here.
Yeah.
Like, you can't quit.
I got $2,000 from Amazon lately.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I don't have to work again for like a week. And then I was like, oh, I gotta go back to work.
For like a
Fucked.
week.
That's what living
Aloe
paycheck to
water's
paycheck does.
expensive.
It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
That's 1,000 bottles of aloe water is what I made up that.
It's like tax time at the trailer park. Ugh.
I was so excited. I was like, oh, dude, I'm set for life. And then I was like, it's $2,000. I'm fucking dumb. I don't have to go back to work.
Thanks, Avery.
I'm sorry.
You end every sentence with "I'm sorry."
I mean, yeah, at this point.
It's the aloe water, dude. It's not being good to you.
It's not.
I got like 4 hours of sleep.
Right
like
in your brain.
Like 3 of that was farting.
What? What?
I don't feel
That was
good.
the sentence he just said. Yep.
Oh, man. All right.
That was the sentence.
I think what he's trying to say is he farted so loudly it prevented him from getting good sleep. Like, it broke up his REM cycle due to the bed vibrations.
Kaylee'd fucking yell at me.
R-I-M, not R-E-M.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh gosh. I think you just broke Jason. Yep.
Fuck you.
He is broke, dude.
So let me get. Were you facing her or facing away from
I
her?
don't know, man. She just fucking yells and hits me.
Probably because you're farting directly onto her.
Yeah.
It was a reverse 69. His butt was in her face.
She doesn't like have to be like. It's a king size bed. She can fucking move. She can lay the
You
other
can go
way.
on the couch, you asshole.
No. Damn it. No. I won't.
That's where your aloe water will be.
Yeah.
Do you let her drink that?
She's tried it. She tries the flavors when I get a new flavor.
And so she tried it, and she's like, no, fuck that shit.
She doesn't like the pulp.
It's chunky
Nobody
water.
does. It's not.
I like the
It's
pulp.
like I can feel my brain neurons shutting down when I drink this. I think I'll stop.
All right, guys. So Jazz has to go to work early today.
I do.
And we've almost
Yay.
done a full
Yeah.
show.
After getting off at, a little after midnight last night.
And it's Veterans Day, so I would like to thank all of the mailmen here for your service.
Thank you, veterans.
I wasn't a veteran, but I do respect and thank them for their services as well.
Yes. Thank your mailman for his service this week.
We had
everybody call Russ. Do me a favor. Everybody on Slack, tell Russ tomorrow. Oh, fuck. Sorry, Ratfink. Everybody tomorrow, tell Russ thank you for your service because he fucking hates it.
Okay, we'll be on it.
Was he in the service?
Yeah, he's a veteran.
Huh.
So you're saying I should not have thanked my dog's doctor this morning?
No, it's a different kind of vet. It's the other kind.
I mean, you could thank him still, just not
It's gonna be an
for
awkward
that type of service.
I would not bring it back up. I would just thank him, and he's not even putting two and two together.
Well, it was a voicemail I left him.
Oh.
Our plan 5 was like 35 minutes yesterday, because 95% of our office is vets.
Let me tell you how they handled it in my office this year. She told us you can no longer have personal items in your case, and if you're a veteran, come get one of these medallion pen things.
And then read some letter.
Yeah,
that
read the letter.
somebody Fucking wrote.
Yeah, and then said, "Come get your pen if you're a veteran," and then like set them on the table. Walked them.
Wow.
She was not happy about being there on a Saturday.
Did you go get one?
No. No.
Are they cool looking?
I don't know. I didn't get a close-up view of one.
Usually they're just American flag pins. It's usually what they
Well,
are.
and she said that we can no longer have the personal items in our cases, so I was cleaning out my case, and it was like a fucking time travel on that top ledge of my fucking coffin. And don't tell Kara this, but like some stuff I just didn't want anymore, but I didn't feel like should be thrown away. It got moved to her case because she wasn't there. But like as I went further down, like it was like time travel. Like I found a CD.
I forgot what CD it was.
It was a Nine Inch Nails CD.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah.
And I'm like, why is this? I haven't had a car that had a CD player in like 3 cars. Like, when is this even from? I got down, I found like a whole bunch of key tags that I'd been needing and like looking for, and I was like, well, here's some key tag. Fuck. But the coolest thing I found that I unearthed in this archaeological dig of my shit that had accumulated over 10 years was
Time
the
capsule.
outstanding employee certificate made out to James.
I remember that.
Oh, yeah.
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 James. I found my
Bring that in here.
outstanding award. Yeah, I think I got to. I think I got to get it framed
Yeah.
and hang it in here. I was going to hang it at the case, and then I got worried that people who weren't there at the time would start calling me James, thinking it was my real name.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, then you'd be like Travis over here.
Well, like,
I know.
like I pointed it out to her, and she's like, I didn't know your real name was James. Like, it's not. It's funny because it's not.
You can get a
I think
picture
what
frame
I-
of it. Next, I'm going to get a picture frame of the sexual predator photo.
It's a good one.
That is a
That is
really
a
good
classic photo.
That is a good
I
one.
don't know if she'd seen that one.
I thought your name was James for like the first like few weeks because like I wasn't paying attention. It was like 7 a.m. when I was talking to you.
That's
so.
not cool.
Sorry.
James is like the
Figured
worst
I'd
name.
Get that out the way.
It's like the worst name. Like,
I've
have you
never
ever
met a James I've liked.
I mean, like, unless he's black. The only cool James I've ever met were black dudes. All the white James I've met were fucking assholes.
Even the black James were borderline.
All the black James I met were cool. Just saying.
I used to work for one.
What's profiling?
It's anecdotal.
Don't help him.
Antic evidence.
Anecdote.
Ken Skywalker.
I have the high ground, sir. All right. So we want to thank you guys for joining us this week.
Mm-hmm.
It was very nice.
Thanks to our special guest. She was awesome.
Charlene was definitely awesome. I hope she comes back and joins. I think I'm playing the wrong exit song.
Hey, it's
This
good.
is what we led with.
I am. I was playing the wrong exit song. This one's much better to go out on. See? This is more mellow, brings energy down. Let's just listen for a minute.
I thought you wanted everyone pumped for the next event of midgets.
That's not for a while. That was 200th show.
Look,
Yeah,
here's the thing,
We
man.
can't start pumping for that now.
Anything you do with midgets is better. They're like unicorns. They're mythical creatures.
Rock climbing?
Better with midgets. You
You have
name
to
something,
stretch
it's
a
better
lot
than with
further.
midgets.
That's what I'm saying.
It's more impressive. What? So thanks for joining us this week. Thanks, Charlene, for joining us.
Had fun.
Hell of a job.
Yeah.
We hope you'll come back. All the rest of you assholes, pick it up. Step it up.
Hit it.
You did a good job. Just don't rest on your own laurels.
What's a laurel?
It's a wreath hat.
I know what that is. I didn't know if it had another meaning to it.
No, that's what it is.
Okay.
You receive those like as awards in ancient Rome.
Ah, okay.
So like if you were resting on them, you're like, I've got 10 of those already. I don't need another one. All right, so we'll see you guys next week, and don't forget to do that thing that you're supposed to do, which is
hit it.
Yep.
Hit it.